So it can happen to any man. So when people are telling when men are telling a woman that they might not cheat, some people in their head, knowing full day that they'll never do it, can still do it.
Can I say that him saying that came off me talking about how if a guy makes me feel secure, then and I feel like you wouldn't cheat, blah blah blah. You know, then I'm not gonna feel insecure about it. Yeah, but, so in a way, he was telling me that just because you feel like you're that secure, but like you feel like your man's gonna do that, you feel like you know your man or whatever, it could still happen. Because you co-signed it. The way you was yes. Because and I was thinking, but it can happen. And because when Akuya said about the insecurity thing, you and I were like, my friend. No wait. Holden. Bit ad-libs. Because when Akuya said, I'm tracing the conversation back now. Because when Akuya said about insecurities in relationship, you have good memory. Very good, mate. You see, when Nigerian men cheat on you anyhow, you have to remember things. Because when Akuya said about insecurities, you and I were saying how if you make your wife secure, if you make your girl secure, then you have no reason to take whatever you say, blah, blah, blah. Right. But let's just move forward, innit?
Yeah, just go to the next.
Forward ever, backward never.
Just don't be surprised if all this gets cut out anyways.
I won't be surprised. Nigerian men move mad.
No, we'll leave it in. And hopefully my wife won't leave me.
She wouldn't, man.
All right. Well, why not? Because I'm a cheater, innit?
Oh my God. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and other small insects. Welcome to another episode of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. This is episode 117 of season 2. Hashtag ESN pod on all your social medias. Once again, hashtag ESN pod. And we are at ESN podcast on all your social medias. Remember to rate, review and subscribe and all them things on all your different channels and whatnot. If you want to send in a dilemma and all that crap, send it to esnpodcast@gmail. I don't care anymore.
I know that crap, you know.
Send it to esnpodcast@gmail.com. I am the podfather, Stavros Boss. Thank you for coming. Get down. In the room with us this very night, we have Big Wahala.
At Big Wahala on Insta. At Big Wahala on Twitter. What's good?
We also have Simple Simon.
From this day until my last, I shall be depressed. For I live in the West, and there is no life in the West. I am convinced that the East is better. But propaganda and press is set to make me not believe so. This is a small excerpt from a poem by the Right Honourable Bujabantan, aka Gargamel. The original inscription is called Laid to Rest, and it goes a little something like this.
Till I'm laid to rest, yes, always be depressed. There's no life in the West. I know the East is the best. All the propaganda then spread, tongues will have to confess. Oh, I'm in bondage, living is a mess, and I've got to rise up, alleviate the stress. No longer will I expose my weakness. Ego's knowledge begins with humbleness. Work 7 to 7, yet me still penniless. Body food up.
Man can't remember the thing still.
Okay. Do you want to say your name on your social?
Yeah, at Simple Simon FB on Twitter. I don't have Instagram. Gaza forever. Yeah.
I actually want to hear the thing, man.
Till I'm laid to rest. Yes, I will always be depressed. There's no life in the West.
That's it.
All right.
We also have Mr. Wolf.
Never paddle wildly in a stormy sea. That's this week's Yoruba proverb. That basically means be patient. Complex issues need to be patiently handled. Word is bound.
I'm not patient, man.
No, well, ain't you? Let's go.
All right. Also with us, we have two very, very special, lovely guests.
Whoa. I don't think he did his socials.
I know he disses me like that.
Was that taking so long? No, you're right. It's my fault. I'm very sorry. Yeah. I'm even going to do an apology for you in a minute once we get started. So go on.
All right. Mr. Wolf. You can catch me on Instagram, aka Mr. Wolf. Twitter, aka _Mr. Wolf. You speak loudly, yeah?
Put a little bass in your voice.
Can I talk?
You may talk. Oh yeah, sorry now.
We have two very special, lovely guests in the room this very evening.
Yes.
From the No Shade podcast, we have my own royalty.
Yes, honey.
Who's now whispering. Okay, yeah, go ahead. She was screaming a minute ago.
Wow.
And that is her name.
Okay, yes, my own royalty from No Shade Podcast. Thanks for having us.
And we have, let's get this right because I don't want to mess up the name. Ikuya.
Akuya.
I'll say it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
What day of the week is it?
Wednesday.
A Wednesday, but I was
Just call it Wednesday.
Oh,
okay. No,
Wow.
we're not gonna start this right now.
Wednesday, yeah?
Oh.
Wednesday.
No.
What you not going to do?
My name is Akuya. You can find me on my socials at Akuya_Aubrey_ on Instagram, Twitter, and I think that's it.
Do you want to spell that? Because not everyone knows that.
It's
them simple
AKUA.
language, you know.
It's simple AKUA.
Not everyone knows your language or your names.
Okay, it's
But-
AQA.
And you said the surname as well, innit? Aubrey?
Aubrey.
Yeah, it says AUBREY.
Yeah, because I can't spell anything.
Okay.
Aubrey.
And yours, my own royalty.
Yeah, my own royalty, aka management.
AKA management.
No, your socials. Your socials.
Yeah,
You're gonna
my
give
own
us
royalty.
Yeah.
But when you search up, it says management.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So my own royalty.
Not underscore nothing.
You find me in it. It's me and some other white woman. It's clearly me. You can tell it's me. Okay.
All right, ladies. So, yeah, I heard your podcast.
I like that, you know.
I invited you on. Tell us about yourselves, your podcast or whatever. You know.
Started our podcast about 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Nearly 2 years ago.
Don't put them off and let them say what they say. Go on.
It was we was in a uni library, and it was just an idea we came up with. No shade because Esther's the one that Esther is the one who is more of the shade thrower, and I'm the more nicer one.
Yeah.
So hence no shade because she's a shady one. I'm the no side of the no shade.
It's a good
Okay.
combo.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's a perfect duo.
Okay.
Okay, so you're happy to be shady
and
one.
no shade.
You're happy to be the shady
I
one.
was born shady.
Okay.
This was my first words was I was gonna slap you.
Your first words. That's your first
Yeah,
words.
like when I was
the whole sentence.
No, my first words were I'll slap you.
Okay.
Like literally.
That
as
shows
a
what your
baby-
mum was telling you every day, didn't it?
No, she used to be embarrassed all the time. No, she used to be embarrassed because she'd be like, okay. And I'd be like, I don't like your face. So, I just been out here in the streets doing what I do. So
Yeah. So it balances out.
it's a talent.
So you're the one that keeps putting on the American accent.
We both do.
We both do, yeah.
Why?
Why not?
Yeah. We switch though. Like I
We
could be
do.
American 1 minute.
And then, Nigerian
Ghanaian,
next.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just,
You put on the Ghana and Niger
It just-
accent.
it depends,
yeah,
It just depends on
yeah.
how
When
the
when
mood-
I start getting really passionate, you just hear the Ghanaian in me just come
definitely
out.
hit the gun in you, mate.
Does the Ghanaian coming out in you as well?
Yeah, it does. Actually. Tried it.
Okay. Before we get into any of these topics, before we started recording, we there was some slander against. Some slander
It was a
against
whole
the
lot.
Nigerian men.
Through the whole tree, bro.
And I think, yeah. And I think that I want it on tape. I want it recorded.
Yeah,
that
evidence.
these ladies,
Yeah.
one of them Ghanaian,
Is that what I
another
said?
one miscellaneous,
Ooh.
Wow.
was throwing shade towards the Nigerian men. So let's hear your views on the Nigerian men.
I think you guys were saying something about like Nigerian men were great or something like that.
That's not what I said.
What did you say?
I said Nigerian men cheat.
No, they don't.
They do.
I said Nigerian men can potentially be misogynistic,
They are.
That's not true.
Like all
but they're not necessarily useless.
They are.
But I said Ghanaian men will cheat. They will also be misogynistic, but they also add useless on the top.
Why
and
is
most,
it
of,
useless,
and most of them are
though?
short as well.
The thing is, okay,
let's
yeah.
add that to the
Okay,
bracket as well.
I'll give you the height. I'll give you the height because Ghanaian men don't have it. I'll give you the height.
Rules.
But the thing is, the way Nigerian men are, like we all know Nigerian men cheat, but Nigerian men
It's not true.
are more useless than they probably cheat.
No.
Nigerian men are just useless.
No.
Nigerian men are no problem. Nigerian men are an extreme sport. I love Nigerian men. Don't even get it twisted.
Okay.
I love a Nigerian king.
It makes no sense. Whoa.
Yeah, but the thing is,
That is not what you were saying before we started recording.
no, but I want to end up a Ghanaian man, God willing. But I also
Because you want a man that you can control. That's why you want a Ghanaian man.
no, because I like being panned small.
Then you might as well leave the Ghanaian man alone then.
No, don't know.
They don't argue. They don't talk. They just
Nah,
they're
they
calmly.
do. Boy, the ones I've met.
Yes, they do.
Oh.
Yeah, they
Yes,
do.
they definitely do.
They do.
I'm gonna stab you. Oh.
This is what I'm saying. A Ghanaian girl defo broke your heart because I don't understand where this hatred is coming from.
Listen, Nigerian men, extreme sport, mate.
Do you know how many
They
girlfriends
can
Nigerian
lie.
men have? They'll have a wife.
They have
then
a
girlfriend
wi-
number one,
oh.
girlfriend number two, girlfriend
Who's
number
that?
one.
Nigerian men.
And Ghanaian men as well.
No. Ghanaian
my
men.
When I talk about Ghanaian men, we're
They
talking
can have
about
a
Nigerian men
wife,
and women.
maybe have a girlfriend,
Maybe.
but
Underachievers.
Nigerian men
Underachievers.
definitely
Yeah.
have a wife, definitely have a girlfriend in
Yeah.
every city, every town.
That's
and
ambition.
are definitely moving to underage girls in the club.
Yeah, that shouldn't be buying bottles for girls.
Buying bottles,
that you
buying
don't
tables. Let me just spoil you a little bit. What?
What are you
Sorry.
saying?
Underage. When you say underage, that means you're talking
No,
about
wait. Not R. Kelly shit. Let me not do
exactly.
that.
So you mean
Underage, as in the kids that are girls who are old enough
Younger
to be
than-
old enough to be their daughters.
They're old enough to be in the club.
But I'm old enough to be your daughter.
Old enough
So
to be
technically,
your daughter there.
And what?
uncle, I beg, please.
Sorry. This
I'm not your age mate.
What
so
are you- what are-
you need
what-
to-
what are
you begging?
Sweet
You need to.
Sweet sissy.
Nigerian men are extreme.
When was the last time that you had a Nigerian man?
What do you mean, like had?
No, yeah, as a boyfriend.
God damn, 47.
Well, to be fair, I've only ever dated. Actually, no, I've dated the Ghanaian guy as well.
And what was wrong with him?
There was nothing wrong with him.
So why she not with him?
Because it wasn't. I wasn't in the time. I wanted to do baby girlism.
What's baby girlism? Talk to me.
Baby girlism.
Yeah, educate me.
It's
What
a
is that?
movement.
It's a movement.
Like, yeah, educate
Explain.
me.
Hey. What else? What
A
else
to the
synonyms?
world.
A to
Want
the
to live your
world,
life.
live
Don't want to
my
be tied
life.
down.
Don't want to be tied down. I just want to live my life. I want to see the other options out there. Because if I stick with you and get official, I might just cheat.
And it's more of a you do me, I do you.
So it's whoring by a different name.
You're right. It's not
It's not
whoring.
whoring. I'd have to sleep with you to be a baby girl.
Okay.
And even whoring.
That's what I'm saying. You're
That's
educating me.
not money involved.
Yeah, best lifestyle, baby girl.
It's a lifestyle, yeah.
But before the Ghanaian guy that you decided,
It's always been
wasn't-
Nigerian guys. And
Okay, so prior to that, it was
Okay, do you
Nigerian
know what?
guys.
So you've been
guys,
hurt
no,
by
wait, no,
Nigerians.
I haven't.
That's-
I don't get
that's
hit
what
like
I'm
that.
saying.
No. If guys I've taken seriously have been Nigerian, semi-Ghanaian, in that I semi-took it seriously,
Oh,
And,
Semi took me seriously, I was going to say.
Sierra Leonean.
And what happened with
Sierra
the
Leone?
Nigerian guy?
The Nigerian guy, they're just
No, that particular one that you was with.
okay. Let me do the most recent one because we're gonna get confused.
Hey, so there is more now. Abi.
My ex, the boyfriend, I've only had one boyfriend, and he was Nigerian, Yoruba, and he was useless.
Demon.
Definitely a demon.
Listen, you keep your Igbo self away from me. Your Igbo
He
behavior.
was, so he was a cheater, a liar, everything he could be. But a guy I dated
How old was
recently,
he at the time?
He was 22.
Do you expect a
23.
man at that age to
Yes, I do.
settle down?
Yes, I do.
Any man?
Yes, I do. Wow. If you tell me you want to settle down, because I didn't force you to settle down with me.
That's very true.
So if you tell me you're going to settle down, then I expect that you're going to settle down, because I really and truly we could have just stayed dating.
That is fine. At 21, I was more or less settled.
Bruv, you
Yeah.
guys are different though, mate.
Yeah, but I feel like, do you know what it is? I get that.
I wasn't
What, are you
saying
the
that 21.
are you the single? Are you the single one?
I was single, no.
Oh, okay.
But
I was.
at 21,
No, but
I
you know,
was- I think that is the age, 21 to maybe 22, 3, 4. That's the age when men are just out there
And that's
enjoying.
fine. That's fine. But don't tell a girl that you want to settle
And they
down,
will- and they will
then
tell-
you do
and
the
they will say
opposite.
that.
And they're stupid.
That's where you go wrong. Isn't
This
it?
is the problem with Nigerian men.
But I think
is that
it's
they
men
lie.
in general.
I don't think it's men in general, because I know guys who are who have got their head screwed on right at that age, who want to settle down and then date a girl who they feel would be a good wife and a good mother to their kids.
Are they all youth pastors?
Nope, we don't do that either.
I just wanted to make sure.
I mean, like the first time I was best man to my friend, he was 23 when he got married.
Look at that.
Nigerian man,
Has he cheated?
That's very
No.
young.
Are you sure?
and he's still married.
You don't know
and,
that.
and he's got 3 kids. So
wonderful.
it is a little bit of a generalization.
It's
Just
wonderful.
just a little.
I do think that when you're young, you should probably like live life or whatever. But with me, I'm a relationship person, so at that time I wanted to be in a relationship.
How about when you was doing your girly thing?
Yeah, so after I came out of that relationship, baby girlism.
Baby girlism.
But you said that wasn't. So hold on, let me get this straight. Is the baby girl thing a relationship or not?
It's not. We're young, living
What is
free,
a relationship when you're a baby girl?
I think baby girl is just young, free, and single.
Yeah.
and yeah.
So then why should she call it a relationship just now? I'm getting
No, she
confused.
didn't.
No, wait,
she-
you're confusing.
You're not listening to her, that's
Basically,
why.
I had an ex. We broke up. after that,
Okay.
I said I wanted to be single. I did the young thing.
Okay.
I wanted to be single.
Okay.
And then that's when I was doing baby girlism. And so I didn't really date guys seriously, trying to go anywhere, whatever. And then the guy I dated after that, I wanted to go somewhere with that, and he was Nigerian, but he was scared, so fuck him.
He wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready.
Okay.
Fuck that. Don't know what that means.
It means he's being honest to you, innit?
He's stupid. So I left that situation.
So the one lied to you, pretended, and I'm assuming you found out something.
Yeah, but this one
was honest with you, and you're vexed with that.
No, but this one was too late though. Like I caught feeling when you told me you didn't want to be serious. So you're right.
So you caught the feeling.
Why didn't you tell me? Yeah,
Did he throw the feelings for you to catch?
Yeah, so we were on a level together.
He said, did he throw the feelings for you to
He threw it to me and I threw it back and we both caught it, and then next thing
Clearly he didn't catch it.
He didn't catch it. He let it drop on the floor.
He didn't get true.
What is that? Why did you throw that to me? I don't
He
want it.
definitely ducked.
And she threw it, he put his hand up like this.
Freeze.
He definitely ducked. True, he definitely did. Then the one after that, which is the most recent one,
Ghana
he
boy.
was Nigerian as well.
Oh, Nigerian.
Don't worry, one of them will come back soon and be
The
like,
Ghanaian
I
one,
missed.
that was during my baby girlism time.
They'll come back soon and be like, I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, they always do.
Yeah,
Always.
yeah.
That's my Nigerian
And
ex.
it's annoying because they expect you to still be that girl.
Sir, I don't
and it's
level
like,
up.
yeah, I can't downgrade now.
Literally, it's downgrading.
Yeah, I'm
Why is it downgrading if you was right before?
Because I was young and dumb
yeah.
then.
Fair enough.
I know better now. I've tasted better. Hell no.
On to
We
better
move.
things.
We move.
Okay,
like,
well,
no.
your friend has done a lot of the talking. What about yourself? Are you friendly slander, or are you a bit more humble with what you like and don't like? And
What, in terms of men?
yeah.
I haven't dated a Nigerian before, but I've heard.
So why is it because you threw your own little slander? around?
Yeah, I didn't know because you
backing me up.
because I've heard what they've done to like my friend. No, because my friends have dated Nigerian men, and like there was a situation where he lived in Nigeria and she lived here, and let me finish.
Do you know what? Wait. Do you know what it is? Do you know why you're all laughing? Because you already know how trash Nigerian is. You already know what happened.
I don't know what happened.
Hold on.
You already know what happened. That's why.
Hold on means hold on.
Sorry.
I'm watching this stuff here. The levels is going all over the gaff. I know you girls do it on your podcast. You talk over each other. We try not to do that here, and I'm not blaming just you two. It's more him and him really.
Shade.
I haven't even talked over people today, really.
Oh my God! Wait till you listen back.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I would.
Wait till you listen back.
Swine.
Okay, wait till you listen.
Okay.
Back. All right. So, just let everyone try not to talk over each other. Basically, that's it.
Okay.
Enjoy your lives, but just
As I was saying,
Yes,
before I got
please.
interrupted. So he lived in Nigeria, and so he used to come to. You're not gonna let me finish.
No, he used to come to.
He used to come to London, or whatever, see her back and forth. But all this time, he basically was still with his baby mum. But, so
Did he have a passport?
of course, he used to come to London.
no. Did he have a British passport?
The red one.
I don't know. I didn't ask her.
Keep going.
So he used to come to London, like see her back and forth. She would go to Nigeria, like mind you, he's an artist, by the way. So he's proper like
out there.
He out there. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Keep going.
So yeah. So then she went, and then I think she went to the house and found out that the girl was like still, the baby mom was still living with him, etc.
Oh, okay.
Hold it in.
Keep going.
So from like, and I've heard this is just one from multiple stories. So like, I just know that Nigerian men, they'll do flashy things. Like when she went to the airport, there was a chauffeur waiting for her, etc. Like she was living life, being a baby girl. But the problem with Nigerian men is you do all of these flashy things, but you know that you have someone else. And then you're just doing multiple dating, multiple sexing. Like, it's a whole lot.
I'm confused because you just said that she was doing baby girl. You just explained
She was living her life, but she was committed to him though.
So how can you live your life and be committed? This don't make no sense.
Because she was living her, as in she was with him.
Yeah.
But she was enjoying life.
But she was enjoying life, as in like the things that he was doing was flashy. Like she was enjoying the.
When he was in Nigeria,
yeah.
what was she doing in the UK?
She works here, so she lives here.
No, but was she on the baby girl flex?
No. As in she's committed. Like that's my man. I'm not doing nothing.
Okay.
Like
Where was she from?
Where was she from? She's Nigerian as well. So you do this to your own people, your own women. Can you imagine?
Yes.
Yeah. They were both
Terrible.
Yoruba. Were they both Yoruba?
They do it west to
I
west.
don't know. I don't know the Yoruba and
Can
everything.
you leave the Yoruba out of this, please?
I'm not saying
Because I'll start with
anything.
the Igbos.
I'm just-
Wouldn't you class that as your friend being a little naive? Had she had told you the story
But-
before it all kicked off, wouldn't you have told her, you know what, you need to allow it?
I 100% agree. But if a man's telling you, and if you're going by his words, I'm not doing anything, and I go to the house and there's nothing there, like to for me to think anything, and then one day I come and then there's little there's a pint here or hair here, that's when you start thinking, okay, like there's something a bit fishy. But if I'm taking your word, because you don't always want us to take your word for it, because when we come to
I
you,
agree with the girls.
when we come to you, oh, it's not like that, oh, this, you're
wait.
over exaggerating.
They hit you with that. Wow. So you really think I'm gonna do that? Why would I do that?
I wouldn't co-sign what Hala's saying. You've got to almost think the worst can happen. You know what I mean?
will say that.
There is like a bad rep with men in general.
Okay.
So if you're gonna go into the thing blindly, especially as a young lady, and there's a guy who's living in another country, and you think that men being men in inverted commas, that she should just accept the fact that this guy is gonna.
But do you not think that's toxic though, to always be thinking, oh, he could do the worst? Because that has an effect on the relationship, because
does.
I'm always thinking, oh my gosh, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and then that's
But what I think at the back of her mind, she knew.
probably.
Can I
You
just
get
say?
me?
Can I just
Right,
say?
that small little thing at the back of her head top,
Can I just say something?
Definitely
Yeah.
that
and
one.
she ignored it.
Can I say why you're chatting shit, Mr. Wolf? In a
You
way.
can carry on, but it's not shit, bro.
The reason why I'm saying that is because if a woman's behaving like that to you, you'll be upset about it.
And then I'll leave her.
But then you're setting these
thing.
ladies up to get left.
No, I'm
You're
not
telling
setting
them
up.
to believe to think of them as the worst. And I'm saying if you met a woman and all she did was think of you as the worst, didn't listen to you when you spoke, didn't believe what you said to her, always thought the worst things about you, you would leave that woman.
Then
as you just said. So then why are you now telling them to behave like that?
Listen,
It's unbelievable.
at the bottom, no, no.
Nigerian men lie unprovoked.
No. The bottom line is that you can paint the picture any way that you like, but reality is reality, bruv. You get me? You can't. If you're gonna enter into a situation with naive mindset, I must trust this person because he said X, Y, and Z. Life doesn't work like that.
So wait a
bruv.
minute.
Life doesn't work like that.
How is it naive if you're my man and in a relationship, your relationship not going to work if you don't communicate, if you don't trust each other? If I trust what you're telling me, how is that naive of me? So are you? But the thing is, and in the same way, if I don't trust what you're saying, you're gonna be like, you're insecure, you're being paranoid, you're that's toxic to be in a relationship. Like being with a woman who doesn't trust you and constantly reminding you why she doesn't trust you and saying, yeah, but you might be lying, that's paranoid, and that's toxic to be with every day.
I think
Small
that a
24
man's-
is telling
I
big
think-
40 something.
Bruv,
I'm with
that
her.
makes no difference.
I'm with her.
I'm with her, man.
And that's fine,
Love that.
but that's fine. But this is the reason why we get into situations like this.
Don't do it to
just
yourself.
because of that.
No, well,
And don't do what to myself.
you said one thing, then you said the exact opposite.
Okay.
But do
okay.
you know what is? I think the big
If
message
my
here.
sister came to me with that kind of situation, I would tell her tread very carefully.
That's fine. That's fine.
You
That's
understand
fine.
what I'm
That's
saying?
fine. But tread carefully and
Don't believe it.
And don't believe
assume
it.
everything he's saying is a lie. It's different.
I think it's a man's job to make his woman feel secure and vice versa.
Yeah,
Clearly,
definitely.
And he
clearly-
did that, and he did that when he told me to trust him, but then he was cheating.
Okay.
So you see how women are we're in a sticky situation.
And why
Because the
Nigerian
men
men are
say,
trash.
why men? Let's forget that bit.
Because other men from other cultures would never do something like that.
No, they do. Let's never stop those ones.
No.
Yeah.
I can rail off a bag Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Yeah, I've been doing whatever they're doing out here. Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna. All men are mad in it. All men are mad and they're
As women.
draining.
So
no, women are mad. I would say men are trash. Women are mad.
all right. Can we?
Women are very mad.
So if we put let's stick with the men are trash thing.
Yep.
Can we not just stick a full stop after that and not separate it to Nigerian men are trash?
Do you know what it is? Because that's my main experience. That's my CV is highest there.
Yeah. I get
Your
you.
resume.
I get
My
you.
CV is long there. I can really, really, really speak on that one.
All right. Okay. I understand.
But they've all been Yoruba.
No, Igbo, actually. The one that was not ready was Igbo.
Hey,
Well, there you go. He wasn't ready. That was,
I hope you don't listen to this.
Yeah, scared.
Yeah, but do you see why it's difficult for women to like date and stuff? Because men say, like, I feel like the bigger picture here is don't like. When I've not liked a guy, I've just said like I'm not really on it. Like when a guy has wanted to settle down with me, is that correct English?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, it sounded a bit off. When a guy has wanted to settle down with me, and I knew I was not in a place to be committed to just you, and I knew I had wandering eyes. I've been honest and said, you know what, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not really on that. That's not where I'm at, like mentally right now. And if we must do this, I can't really say what I'm gonna do because I might just cheat. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
So
why can't
it's not cheating though if you told him that.
Why? Okay, then no, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that.
No, if you tell
You know,
somebody
is
that
it?
I'm dating other people, I'm doing things with other people.
No, I might just cheat.
No, I'm
Means that I'm
saying
with
if
you, but I'm not serious.
I'm not
and I might
serious,
cheat.
yeah.
Serious.
Okay,
So,
fair enough.
I think it would be better to say,
let's do our own thing in it.
let's be casual or something like that.
Yeah, but the
I
thing
don't
is,
know.
why can't men just do the same thing? Like,
They
if you don't
do
want to
it,
take me seriously, like men do this thing where they keep you on the side. Like,
Yes.
boy, let me go.
Yes. They do it.
Also,
Flipping out.
I've been saying that last week.
because they don't want to share.
It's
They
so
don't want to share
annoying.
you.
I want to be shared.
No, what it is about boys is that they find one they think is a good one, innit? So they'll keep them to the side and be like, yeah, Esther,
I'll get back
Esther,
to you.
you just stay
spoke
there.
about that last
And I'm
week.
tired of being one.
And then they'll do what they did and then they'll come back. But then what happens is, what you think's happened to me, Okuya, right? Which hasn't, is, right, when by the time that they're ready, you are now got to the point where you're fed up. And you say, you know what, I'm going to go and do what I'm doing. Then they see you're living your, as you call, baby
Best
girl
life.
life or whatever. And
Yep.
then they're heartbroken and hurt. And then every other woman after that is going to get
That's
it.
literally.
And I'm tired
my
of being
theory
kept
as
to the
well.
side. Okay, I'm always that victim. I'm tired of it.
But it's a compliment in a strange way.
Yeah.
No, it's not
It is because they
you know,
think you're a good girl. That's why I
No,
want to keep you.
Yeah, I get that, and I'm flattered. Thank you very much. I think so of myself as well.
Mm.
But I just think that it's not worth hurting my feelings though, because that's actually what my ex did. So now he's popping up talking about I want to get back together. Sir, move to the sides.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Quickly.
You shouldn't allow people to use you in that way. So I'm not co-signing their behavior. I'm just saying that is their behavior.
But that is their behavior.
All right.
Okay.
We're gonna put a pin on that.
Yeah.
That's
Can we have a-
that's kind of
No,
the
it was
angle
not.
that I'm going with.
But that's not what you
It
said.
wasn't.
No, but that is men are like
Alternative
that.
facts.
Listen. Men are like that. You're saying that is how men are. You have talked about your experiences. So my thing is that when you go into a situation, you have to have that same mindset. And man, the thing is, and this is what I've told my sisters and female friends that I have, men are they do so well in whispering the sweet nothings in your ear. Telling you the things. They will do anything. They'll be as patient as they can. However long it takes to get what they want. So going into a relationship with that kind of
Mindset.
well, with the mindset that this guy is lying, or with a mindset that is less naive. I know that it can be toxic, but unfortunately, this is the world that we live in.
But you know, do you know what? I get exactly what you're saying. But I think that the message we need to start pushing out there is not to tell women to be like careful of the fact that men are liars.
We need to
It's
speak
stop
to the
telling
young
them
boys.
to stop doing that. Like raise, because I know the way I'm going to raise my sons if I have any is to respect women and not lie. Like, it's not that, and that's how my mum raised my brother. Do you get what I mean? So I feel like we need to, rather than me having to be in every situation, do you know how draining it is to date a guy, have him tell you something, and I'm thinking, what if you're lying? But the thing is, what if he isn't lying? So now I'm going to self-sabotage the situation because I think, you're lying, or you might be like, you might play me, blah, blah. So my guard is always up and whatever. But then it's like, I might meet that one guy who actually isn't lying.
Right.
But because my mindset is, guys do this and guys are lying, I then sabotage that situation. So now I'm back in a situation where my ass is single again.
Did anyone tell you to be
hold
born a woman?
I had no choice.
That's your own choice.
Hold on. The guy that isn't lying and the guy that is genuine, he also will wait patiently and do whatever it takes. So if your guard is up and it remains up for certain particular relationships that you've had, he will see that and he will understand that and he will be patient. So it is a fine line, and I'm not talking crap.
Not everybody's patient. Let me say
training,
something.
I'm not saying that everybody is patient. I'm not saying that everybody cheats. I'm not saying
No, I'm
that
not
every
talking about
man.
that. I'm talking
All
about
I'm
good
saying
men.
is that
Good men also feel the same way sometimes as the ladies. So I'm a good man.
Why am I constantly not having to battle the battles of other men? Because you other men have done this to you.
Again,
now I feel like I have to be battling this battle.
Again, this is the world that we live in.
Yeah,
bruv.
I'm not doing it though.
Yeah, but that's you,
There's
innit?
more women out there than there is men, you know. I'll find another one.
But can I
don't believe that.
Wait, can I add something to that as well? Can I add something
I'll
to
find
that?
another one straight.
Can I add something to that? Yeah, because what you said is so true. Because I have met guys as well who have the guys who have said to me they're not ready. That's because they were heartbroken because the girls before them cheated. So good girl, little cute little me has come through, you know, all cute and whatever, all loving and shit. And then they're like, oh, like they've got their guards up now. But for me, I find it draining because I'm like, sir, I don't have time to prove
So you move
that
on.
you should trust me. So we move. Like I'm not gonna wait around. So
what
in
I
the
said.
same way,
Move
a guy who is a good guy, if I've got my guard up and whatever, it's draining to be trying to prove your loyalty when there's bare other girls out there. He could meet another girl who would trust him straight away, and they get married and live happily ever after. While my ass is over here, so they're attending weddings, doing +1s and shit, single and all.
Gele.
Do you know how much money I spend on flipping? It's draining.
But are you wearing a gele though?
Nah, I take that shit off.
Hey,
Do you know how much? Nah, it's tight. I
Let me-
got time for that.
all right. Can we talk about something that we was talking about before they all came?
What's that? What was you talking about?
Because me and Stav was having a discussion about something, and we said we were gonna ask them. I don't want you to forget because I didn't put it in the.
You're fighting now, man.
All right, so me and Stav was talking.
He's just
talking about it.
Because the podcast has gone wayward now. That's why he's doing this face.
No.
He's
It's
just
fine.
thinking,
It's
All
fine.
right, so at one point, we was talking about another podcast. I forgot who was it. Was it one of the receipts girls?
Oh yeah.
It was one of the
Let
receipts
me find a tweet actually. Yeah,
So
that's
because she
it.
tweeted something that is,
Oh, I listen to them.
it's quite. Oh, you listened to them.
Is there one about men?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've seen that tweet.
Okay, so do you remember the tweet? I think while he's looking for it, I'll say what it kind of is about.
Probably
So
Tolly, innit?
It was about it was Tolly,
Yeah.
and it was about
I remember when I
what?
started the Receipts podcast. Some guys I knew said I had finished
Oh, yeah.
myself. Who will marry me with all this shit I'm talking?
When are we getting
Granted, no one has married me, but the podcast is popping off and it's popping heavy. So congratulations for it.
Congratulations to
popping
that.
heavy. But I said, because I read the thing, I said, which man actually talks like that? Who's gonna say
Is this-
you're nobody's gonna marry you because you got a podcast?
Do you know what? It's the same men who say your skirt is so short, who's gonna marry you like that? It's guys who say stuff like that, they've all got the same stupid backwards mindset. Which is they expect a woman to present herself this way, expect you to be silent, expect you not to be a woman who speaks. Like even today, weirdly enough, just today, I was speaking to some. Okay,
Go on.
I don't want to give too much timeline in it. Rumor market, but recently, I was talking to someone and I was like, oh, like he was like, oh, we didn't. I was like, I came back from the studio because we recorded this morning, whatever. I'm going to record in the evening. And then he's like, oh, so you're a proper podcast girl now, aren't you?
Hey,
Boy, if you're doing this, so guys like
Yeah,
that,
but
they're the same.
do you know what that meant? Maybe he meant
He-
something different than what you.
No, because then he went on to say, oh, like, so you're just out here, like, just chatting shit all the time. I said,
Wow.
if you don't move from my phone. But that's the thing. So guys, because there are guys like that who feel like you shouldn't. They feel like a woman shouldn't express yourself. Granted, I wouldn't lie. Like I'm here for like sexual liberation and that. I'm here for it. Yeah.
Slut wolf
But-
and all that.
I'm a good boy.
you weren't here for that.
But you know what is that for me? I'm quite what's that word? Conservative in a way.
Okay.
In that I don't believe I should be telling people that, you know, like I don't think I should be going into explicit detail on the timeline
about
about what I'm getting up to. Do you get me?
Your exploits.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But like this, so like some guys, those guys will also be like, oh, girls shouldn't talk about sex too much. You shouldn't talk about like out loud or whatever. Like I'm here for the whole sexual liberation thing. But then there's guys who don't think that girls shouldn't talk about sex at all in public.
But hold on, are you talking about, because what it comes down to then is they're happy talking about or the woman talking about sex, but not their sex.
Basically,
So
basically,
if you're saying you don't talk about your own private business,
Yeah.
are you saying men are saying that women shouldn't talk about the fact that women should be sexually liberated and these are the type
Some
of things
men
you might
actually
do?
don't
No,
like
I'm
you
saying
know?
the kind of man that she's talking about is the kind of man who does not think that women should be talking about sex like that. Is the kind of man who doesn't think women should be showing too much legs, shouldn't be showing cleavage, shouldn't be going out too much because they're like, it's not a good look. Because even if we think about it, like even with our parents and stuff, how many times my WhatsApp picture, I've had to block my grandma a few times because sis is moving mad. She'll be like, "Oh,
Called your grandma sis.
I've had to just because she'll be like, "Oh, you like, oh, what you're wearing is not really appropriate," or like. So it's that mindset. So some men have that mindset of, you know.
I don't think.
And your grandma.
I don't think it's some men. I think it's most men.
Well, I would like to say once before everybody got here and it's just me and my brother. I said, which men said this? He backed it up and said no. There's men, and he basically went down the road that my own royalty said that basically. Basically, thank you very much.
I kind of struggled with that one.
I appreciate that. So he basically kind of said what Esther said, not in the same, not with as much vim, but along the same lines.
Yeah.
Aquaria, you're allowed to talk. Remember that, yeah.
No, I am. No, I just want everyone to have their say, and then I don't want to.
No,
talk
just
over people.
man. Talk, man. Don't let this one dominate the thing.
Wow.
Because we all know Nigerians dominate the Ghanaians, but you know we all.
Wow.
No, but it's what they're saying.
Showing it.
No, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk over people. That's why.
Go on.
Say what you
All
want
right,
to
don't need to shade me.
I know, because I'm generally someone I like to listen, and then I'm gonna say what I want to say.
You're a calm Ghanaian.
I'm very calm. But
What is this brownie point? Stay calm. What is this?
Hold on.
All Ghanaians
No.
are calm when they speak English.
It's when they go into their own language. That's when they kick
here
off.
we go again.
Hey.
Anyway, but yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to say that I do agree, because I think there's a lot of men who want you to be conservative, especially because it's my woman. So I don't want you to be on the timeline talking about sex and talking about, oh, he's dicking me down this way, etc. Like that explicit, because they feel like you're a woman, you shouldn't be talking like that. Like women don't talk like that. You know, so I feel like in the whole, her tweet, her saying that, men said whatever, blah, blah. She's probably talking about the men that, don't want you to be so out there and outspoken, because a lot of guys just want you to be that girl by his arm, not saying much, like the trophy thing. Do you know what I mean? Not saying much, just being a good girl and not doing the most on the timeline. Do you know what I mean?
Again, I still think it's most men. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it is most men. I agree with that.
I wouldn't want my missus going on a podcast and talking about sex every week. Wouldn't like
And why
it.
is that?
Because what does everybody need to understand about
She's
her
talking
personal
about her
business?
experience though.
Yeah, but I don't want for me, the whole point of me being with you is that I get to have your personal experiences for myself. And vice versa. So I don't really talk about sex. Since I've been in relationships, I don't really talk about sexual exploits. I won't do that.
Yeah, if you want to hear sexual exploits, go back to
Season one.
Season one.
But since I've been with my missus, I won't come on here and I won't just start talking about sex like openly.
He don't talk about sex.
It might be, if there's a topic that comes up, I might have discussions about it, but I'm not going to go into great detail. A bit like what Esther was saying, I won't go into all my exploits and stuff like that. I tend to stay away from that.
Because on season 1, we had an episode where some people went in on the best sexual positions.
That's season 1.
Some people,
I didn't see that.
they had, if you could see, if we ever recorded the type of things people were doing.
Wow.
But season 2, he was talking about a conveyor belt.
Madness like that. The names that came out that day.
But season 2,
Wow.
but
You dropped names.
they had names for all these moves, you know, like power drivers. Not, you know.
I'm gonna talk to you after. I
this
need to know the episode.
is
that
8 years ago. 8 years ago, man. Like,
it's a long time
I'm
ago.
tune in.
This is before he was born again.
Is the episode still up
I was
there?
not born again.
yeah,
Twice.
they're all still up there.
But yeah, so I wouldn't, and I definitely wouldn't be going on the timeline talking about sex.
Yeah.
Or talking about, I dicked down my missus yesterday, what I go and did it. I wouldn't do that. Like, why would I go up on the timeline and say that about my missus? Exactly. And I feel that she'll feel exactly, if she was to say to me, I think she'll say the same thing to me, that I wouldn't want my man to go out there and chat that chat.
So-
It's just a bit different, that it might not spoil my market to do that. So I think I could go out and do all of this type of stuff, and even if my missus left me now, I could still get another girl tomorrow. Whereas I don't think it's the
all right then. Sorry.
What did you say sorry for?
No, 'cause you're like,
I could get another Mrs. tomorrow.
No, but I don't think another woman's gonna say I'm not gonna date you because you're on a podcast. That's what I'm talking about.
But why is it that women, when we want to talk about sex very openly, we want to talk about experiences. Okay, let's just say if I had a man and I'm talking about my experiences, I'm not necessarily talking about him. I'm just saying what I've done and been doing.
Yeah, but
what is wrong with me being that girl on the time that's sharing my experiences?
I just don't-
Why does it mean I can't be wife?
it's for me. It's not for me. If you're single and you're doing that, then fair enough. It's when you're with your partner. I think it's a bit different.
Why though?
Because
I think you know, it's. They're going
do you not? You just said yourself, you don't feel that you don't feel comfortable doing that yourself.
Do you know, that's because I feel like that's what I was gonna say actually after what Akuya said, is that everyone's different. Do you get me? Everyone's different, and so everyone has different different ways of expressing themselves. I don't judge people who are really.
Yes, you do. But so just stop that. Start the sentence a different way.
But you do, because even if you judge them positively, or you judge them to the point where you say that I think what you're doing is all right. That's a judgment.
No.
So you do judge them.
Just never say. Never in your life say I don't judge. Never start a sentence with I don't judge.
I don't look at people who open. Actually, I do.
You don't look down on them.
I don't look down on them or think I'm better than them because they openly talk about their sexual experiences.
Right.
Because to an extent, I admire that.
Okay.
My personality does not agree with me. The only time I have a problem with it is when people act like women like me who don't talk about stuff openly were pick-me's. Like, I hate that.
What's a pick-me?
So, like, that basically girls who want to get wifed.
Pick me.
Whoa. Because a woman doesn't talk explicitly about her sexual stuff,
pick me.
No.
She's begging for man.
It's not that. It's if you say something like, it's not that you don't say it.
Actually, I've got
it's like if you go out and say, I don't talk about.
Thank you for womansplaining.
No, I'm saying when they talk about the pick me stuff. I'm talking about in general. I'm not talking about just for her. But I'm saying in general, what they say is a pick me is when they'll say something like, I don't talk about sex on my thing, but I understand why other people say it. They'll be like, oh, you're pick me.
You're pick me. Like, even stuff something as simple as like, because I've said on our podcast that I don't mind paying on a date or whatever. People have been like, oh, you're pick me. Because there's other girls who are like, no, I want a guy to pay the, and that's fine because that's everyone's got their preference. You know what I mean? But then when a girl is like, that's not something that I like. That's not something I particularly wow, it's English. That's not something I particularly care for.
I've only had a couple of wives of.
Wow, they then end up labeling me as a pick me. So the only time I have a problem with the sexual liberation thing when it's made to seem like because I'm not as open and because I'm not as free or whatever,
I'm a pick me.
I'm not with the times. Like, it's 2019. Why aren't you like this? And it's like everyone's got different personalities. Do you get what I mean? So I don't think that women should live, because sometimes I won't even lie, I found that sometimes I kind of in a way do stuff because I feel like it will put me in a good light in terms of being a wife and whatever. So that's something that I'm working on. Like,
you have done that before.
Like, I subconsciously do it. I don't mean to do it,
and you want to stop yourself.
But I do it. Yeah, I'm definitely stopping, boy. Because I'm not wife still. So here we are.
But are you doing something you don't want to do?
No. It's something like it's something I want to do. But then it's like,
so then why stop?
What's the problem then?
No, but
she doesn't want to feel like she's conforming.
Actually, maybe it's not something I want to do then. I can't think of an example right now. Okay. But it's not something that's natural to me.
What about something like, so what about if somebody like you've got a boyfriend and he's not really maybe he's not your full man, and you cook for him? Is that type of something you're talking about? Because some people say, well, you shouldn't cook for a man that's not your boyfriend, or you're not your this, or you're not your dad.
I don't really care about that.
All that stuff.
I'm here making like nice omelets and shit. I don't know.
There's actually really no rules, because I feel like people put too much. Oh, you can't do this when you're this. You can't do that if he's not your man. Like, do whatever you.
What you're comfortable with.
Can I swear? Okay. Do whatever you want to fucking do. Like, as long as obviously you know that he's also treating you right and he's not taking the piss out of you. Do whatever you want to do. Like, if you want to have sex on the first date, do it. I mean, I wouldn't, but if that's what you want to do,
do you,
then
sis?
do you.
Pick me.
Okay, stop it.
For real.
No shade. No shade.
No shade. No shade. But if that's what you want to do, then do you. I feel like in society now, it's like everyone's trying to be the good one. Everyone's trying to look like, oh, I don't do this, but like you do, and that's okay. Like, just own it.
The only thing I would think that you shouldn't do on a first date, unless you're with somebody who's also Ghanaian, is cook kenke. If you make kenke for someone who's not Ghanaian on the first date, it could be a problem.
I'm crying.
Tell the truth.
So
it's the truth.
I'm crying.
It really is the truth.
So it does take a while to make kenke, though.
It does take a while.
And then once it's made,
what now?
it should be thrown away, innit?
You didn't hear me say that about amala. It looks like poo.
Wow, I'm not gonna have that.
It looks like bloody poo,
I can't have that.
Tastes like
it might do.
I can't have that.
What can't you have?
Amala is banging me.
Oh,
it's that green, that black thing, isn't it?
that green. Yeah, it's a black one.
Yeah, I don't fuck with
Amala
that.
and Ewedu, you mad?
Am I right that kenke smells?
Kenke is like a starch. You should use it to thicken your clothes.
No, but it does smell right, if I remember rightly.
It does not
bad.
smell.
Not
badly.
Thank you very much.
It doesn't taste. I don't think it
smell.
has a strong.
Do you eat that with egg as well?
No, we don't eat that.
Because you'll have everything with egg.
Wow.
Listen,
Kenke
egg
and scrambled
bangs,
eggs.
yeah. Boiled egg, what?
Ew.
Boiled.
Get your protein in.
I'm involved with the boy egg, as you know, so I'm not even gonna fight that.
Yeah, but would you describe it as banging?
Yeah.
It bangs with anything.
Bro, then just today, me. I ate eggs a lot.
Put something into me. What?
Yeah,
Bangs.
I'm not argue with that.
Okay, can we move to conversation? I feel really sick. Let's just move on, please.
So do you feel like as girls that do your podcast now, you feel like your market's spot?
That's your business. My market is false. You're not the one for me. I don't think my market is false.
What do you mean our market? Because I feel like we're not one of those podcasts where we and I'm not trying to be a pick me, but
I was getting ready to.
I know you're not being a pick me. You're being a pick me now.
No, let's say what you're saying.
No.
We don't do what some other podcasts do.
And that is absolutely fine. We're not one of those podcasts where we openly talk. We do talk about sex, but it's not as in like, oh, he did this to me this night and I felt so good. Like, it's not one of those type of shows. But we do talk about sex, and I think it's all about what you're comfortable with. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's all about what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it ruins my market. If you like me, like me. If you don't like me, go in it.
Because people I thought they even liked me didn't like me. So what now?
Some men don't even want their women to have any limelight at all.
Yes.
Want them to be secret words and nobody knows who they are.
Yeah.
Men were cheating on me if I had a podcast, so it's not gonna make a difference.
That's interesting.
All right, I'm Stavros. I'm happy that my woman's not out there
Why?
because I'm happy that she's just fake back in the background there.
Could you say it's more of an insecure thing though?
No, I don't think so.
But what's
I've been with women that are much more socially
Overt.
popping,
I get mine.
but it's in fact. This is a lovely.
nicely.
It's a lovely segue.
I was about to say the same thing.
Now some people would say I'm overprotective when it comes to my missus. So I can take stuff on the chin.
My wife.
But when it comes to I've switched at people online for chatting stuff about my woman.
Oh, wow.
I've spoken on the
Energy.
podcast actually before.
That's good. I like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Because
I rate that.
Yeah, because the thing with her is if she was another type of woman.
He's a Nigerian man.
Maybe I might see that. Okay, you know what?
This one I rate.
She's put herself out there to take in that kind of
criticism.
yeah, but she doesn't. She's not on.
Mine's a business.
She's on Twitter. She's got no avi. It's she pops up once in a blue moon, and
So
that's
why
it.
were people coming for her? I don't understand.
Probably something else, I don't know, but
Yeah, people might come for her for what you say.
yeah, it happened. I can't remember the situation. We spoke about it before.
Guilty by association.
But the point is,
See how Nigerian men get in trouble for no reason.
They might call your wife a pick me.
but she's with me. She's been together for how long?
Yeah, but
She been picked.
but the things that you
You don't
say,
count.
and they can't believe that another woman would
Be with
accept
a guy who says
accept
that.
the things that you say, and the only reason why they're accepting it is because
Okay,
I just think mind your
so for
business,
instance,
like, she's happy.
last week I mentioned a story about there's a girl at work that I think is good looking, and I want her to leave my workplace because you're too good looking.
No,
It's like-
you said you want her to fuck off.
Yes, but I just wanted to be more diplomatic this time.
I saw
Anyway, so I told my missus about it,
I saw that.
and we put the poll up. Yeah. And
I was very confused.
yeah, some people were gunning me, and I was laughing. But I was sitting there with my wife laughing at it as we're gunning. But she came on Twitter then and said that she's happy that she's got a man that she can trust, that he will actually tell her this kind of thing. She understands how some people might not like it, but end of the day, people have eyes, and the eyes are there to see. And as long as I can tell her and she trusts me, that I ain't gonna do nothing.
People
So
never
be
came
it.
for her, mate.
But the point is that now might fall into the pick me category.
Yeah.
But fortunately for me, nobody then came at her.
Did they not?
No, they
I'm
didn't.
shocked at that.
No.
they didn't. But
That's very good.
But
what I did feel at the time was, I was wondering whether, because as you say, she doesn't come on Twitter, so it's almost like she came to defend herself. That's how it felt when I was.
Yeah,
on
is that a
Twitter.
pick me situation?
No, I don't even know the pick me.
Were saying.
I think it was like, oh, I don't want people to look at me, I
a way.
thought
Bad
that,
way.
yeah, because the people are so negative about this situation and the way that you put it, it almost felt to me like she was like,
Justify my
almost like, yeah, she was justifying herself in a way.
Because I saw the things people were saying. So I feel like she probably did come on to be like, I'm not what you're saying, or I'm not this kind of thing.
No, I'll say why she did it. What she did was that she doesn't often listen to the podcast, and she actually listened to this one. Obviously, I've given her pre-warning. I told her beforehand, I'm only really telling you this because I'm going to say it on the podcast because it's a funny story. So I'm going to say it on the podcast. So I'm telling you. Otherwise, I won't even bother telling you. It's not that big a deal, really. Yeah. So I'm giving you a heads up. So she's listened to it, and I think for her, it's just a bit of banter. I'm there doing this. I'm messaging her because people from work are calling me, which girl is it? Or they're messaging me, that girl ain't even know that. What are you talking about? Like, you're making a big deal about this girl. She ain't even know that, etc. And I'm telling her all this stuff. I'm showing her messages.
Does the girl listen to your podcast?
Sorry?
Does a girl listen to the podcast?
No.
Okay,
Thank
good.
God. But,
HR.
but for real.
Ring
for
from
real.
HR.
But the point is that I don't. When I come home and I edit the podcast or whatever, I don't tell her what happened. I tell her there was a couple of guests on this week and whatever and blah blah blah. This time I've been giving her a play by play of what's happening on the podcast, and she's actually listened to it. So I think she's come on because she is actually part of the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just
It
like,
affects her.
well, let me talk on this conversation because I'm part of it now. Every week I don't listen. I ain't got nothing to say. This time I got something to say because it's about my life. So let me just go there. I think what she was actually doing was defending me.
Okay, I can see that actually.
I think that's what she was doing.
Irrespective of that, though, the way it looks.
But the reason I don't even want that, I don't want that to go in. This is my point because I'm defensive of her. I don't want it to. I don't care how it looks. I'm saying that she was probably, as far as I was concerned, she went there. Yeah, because you said it once. You said it. I don't want it said again. She went there just to defend me. She's not doing defensive. You know my missus. You know she's not like that. So there's no point in saying that's what it looks like because you know she's not like that.
Now that you've explained that she was coming to defend you, I don't think she was coming to like say I'm this one, whatever. I think she was coming to defend you.
In the past, she's come to defend you.
Deep. That's good.
Yeah, she comes to defend. When
he says something outrageous, she'll come and it's almost like she's his way of explaining to the world what he actually means.
Okay, like I know him.
Yeah, because
she's my translator.
Yeah, because he says things so blunt sometimes that even though it should make sense, it doesn't make sense to somebody else. They're like, you cannot be meaning what you're saying because it's so blunt.
So if you know him, then you know what he means. Okay.
So then sometimes she'll come and she'll translate exactly to the rest of the world what he actually means, and it's not as bad as what you think it is.
You know Key and Pill, the comedians.
No.
The one that did Get Out. One of them did Get Out.
Oh, is it the one that did the one on Netflix recently, the high school reunion thing or something?
Yes, I think he was one of the ones. The tall one. Light-skinned guy. Yeah.
So when they had their sketch show, they had this thing where they had Angry Obama. Yeah. So you know Obama was always cool and he was getting gunned when he was in. So what they did was one of them played Obama and one of them played his in an angry voice. Okay. So Obama would say, "So we are trying to do sanctions and such," and then the one beside him would be screaming like this, saying what he really thinks. And I think that's like me and my missus. I'm the one that's screaming and shouting, and she's the one that then says, and she puts it in a nice calm way that everybody can understand.
That's really good.
Ghanaian.
That's a good thingy.
Yeah,
that's a good
see,
team.
us Ghanaians, we have your back.
Ghanaian women, yes. Ghanaian women, yes.
Yeah,
Nigerian women like, if I slap you now, you would say I'm mad.
My missus was not. When she read what you wrote, where she was not happy. She said, "What?" No, what she said to me was this. She said, "Saying that another woman is attractive is one thing, but saying that you fancy them is a different thing."
For them to leave
I
as
didn't,
well.
I didn't understand what the difference was.
Somebody else said that as well. They said exactly.
Yeah, when she read that, she goes, "See, somebody else said the same thing." I said, "I don't care who that person is. I don't agree with them
you
either."
say you fancy her?
What's
the difference?
Use whatever word you want to use. The girl's buff.
What's the difference between fancying and finding that person attractive?
See, with me, I don't mind if my man finds other people attractive because
you're not blind.
The game is the game. There's always going to be someone that's buffer than me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I didn't say buffer than my wife.
Okay, but you implied that she's nice.
I said she's nice.
Okay, she's nice. Okay,
but not in comparative sense.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. But for you to say,
take it too far, you know.
But she never. When she corrected the first time, she didn't say it after though.
But for you to say that you want her to leave, as in, like, you can't, the temptation is too high. Like, you can't be working with her. You can't concentrate. Whatever.
It's a figure of speech.
No, but she's going by what he said.
What you said, yeah. So that's what's coming across.
You're adding extras
because I don't know him. So if I don't know you personally,
that's fair.
What you've said is what I'm going to take. So for you to say, "Oh, she needs to fuck off," it's like, "Oh my days, that you're so paying that I can't even control myself." For you to you need to leave, get out of this place, yeah. So if it was me and I was your wife, I would just be like, "Bro, you're doing a lot. Like,
sort yourself out.
Sort yourself. Like, yeah, she's nice, but what do you mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Would that be considered an insecurity on your part though?
I wouldn't say it's an insecurity, but you've made me. The thing is, you've made me think that she's something. Like, you've made something. Like,
if you know your man, then what does it matter?
No, I'm on her side. I think
because if the roles were reversed and I was saying that about another guy, you wouldn't have that same energy.
I'll tell her to go with a man.
I would.
You really would.
I'll tell her to go with a man.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Come back telling me that.
I'm trying to imagine myself.
Yeah, but you see where the issue is there, though.
I know there's an issue.
So go on, what are you saying?
Sorry, I'm trying to imagine.
To the back of it.
Yeah, you're way away now.
Waved.
I'm really not, but okay.
Keep going.
I can really take it to my Nigerian self. What?
Okay. It's when the drink kicks in your Nigerian. Then keep going. Keep going.
Basically, I'm trying to imagine like my man telling me this, and I feel like on one hand, I will have the thing of, well, I trust you. Like, you've told me it ain't really nothing. Like, it is what it is, isn't it? But at the same time, it looks like the whole, like, she's so attractive that you want her to kind of just like be removed. Like, she has to go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think when it comes down to if it's a relationship, if we're dating, I will do what you said in that. Go and be with her then. That's your own. If it's a marriage, I'm married to you. So I'll be like, all right, cool. Like, I wouldn't think anything deeper.
You're not saying all right, cool.
Yeah,
I
but
wouldn't.
I wouldn't. I'm not gonna like, because for me to be married to you, I'm not gonna let my insecurities come in like that.
So you are saying it's an insecurity?
It's definitely insecurity. For me to be threatened by
Well,
another woman,
put that
it's
insecurity
an insecurity. 100%.
I don't
agree with that
think
one.
I wouldn't debate that. Of course you do.
I don't think that every man has the willpower that my guys here have. So there are some men that will openly be honest like that, almost in a sense to kind of, I don't know, remove the insecurity guard from their woman, so they can kind of bore true and then say, well, I told you that I was weak, and then something happened.
What?
This is
man's move like that, man.
Wait, what?
I just think.
Sorry, say that again. I'm very confused. I thought you were going somewhere else with it.
Yes.
So he's saying that men will basically say to the woman,
There are some men.
yeah, some men that might say to the woman, oh, there's this thing at work, you know, she's buff. Oh, yeah, she's buff. She has to leave, man, blah, blah, blah. And you be like, yeah, man, don't worry. I know, I trust you, innit? I trust you. Oh, you trust, man. Tomorrow night, he's there, innit? He's there.
so-
Banging. And then you trusted me, innit? I told you. You were supposed to tell me to go away.
true.
For me, you didn't say that.
That don't
Man
make no
thought I
sense.
could board through it. That's how men think, though.
But if you're gonna cheat, just cheat. Why would you tell the woman
Nah,
you're gonna cheat beforehand?
because men want to test the water, see
Why
if
do you
it's
say so?
stay.
Yeah, what sense does that make?
Bruv, why do you think so logically, bruv?
Men are
I
mad.
know what you're saying makes sense, but when it comes to that kind of scenario, you
Men
need to
don't think
take
logic
yourself
in that
out
sense.
of the way that you think.
Can't be done.
And in the way that certain men think when it comes to
And
these kind of
sometimes when it comes to
situations.
cheating, some men that are so dumb can't even read or write are geniuses, you know. Trust me, they will find a genius way to cheat, and
what I'm
in
saying.
the end, the woman will end up thinking, "Hey, he did tell me, and I didn't heed the warning. So maybe it's me that made him go." They would, and it'll be and it will push. Yeah, it's you. When you said it was cool, I was kept on talking to her, and then in the end something happened. So really, it's your fault. And that's
I'm
how
not
they'll
gonna
push
lie.
it, you know.
I can imagine me thinking that in terms of saying, oh well, actually he did tell me, so maybe actually he tried to warn me,
Or
but
maybe I
didn't
should
think
have told
I
him.
should have been, yeah.
And with the insecurity thing, I think there's not a problem with that. In that situation, I don't think there's anything wrong with that person being insecure because you pushed that insecurity onto them.
No,
because
no,
let me explain to you why. For one, you can find somebody attractive. You probably see a million people on the street and you find them attractive.
I don't.
You don't come to tell me about every single woman that you find attractive, but you've come to tell me about this one.
Yeah.
Right. So as far as I understand, then immediately I'm thinking, so what's so special about this girl?
Exactly
That
my
is
point.
different, that is compared to all the other girls that you see all the time.
I think if a man
There's nothing wrong with them being insecure about that.
If a man came to me with this, the bit that will spin me, because if you find someone attractive, like you said, cool, you're not blind, you can find people attractive, whatever. If you tell me, I feel like, okay, you told me, you could have kept that one to yourself, but okay, whatever. But the bit that will completely spin me is when you said she needs to fuck off.
Yeah.
So if she doesn't fuck off, what happens now?
Turn around every time I see you.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think there's anything wrong with that person in their brain having something in their head thinking
But
shit.
Because you placed that in my head now.
Yeah, all right.
But I do think it comes
But
down to knowing your partner. Though.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, but
Because
I will say that because if I deep, sorry, I'm so sorry. But
No, you
if
finish.
I know that, if I know that my husband, because you know some people walk down the aisle knowing that man has an element of trash that they're not even sure they're going to make it forever.
Yeah.
If I walk down the aisle knowing that little bit, or say he's cheated on me before, and I still walk down the aisle with you, if you tell me that, not going to lie, I am moving mad, calling a family meeting, your mum will hear of this. But if I know the kind of man you are and that you respect me, like I've never had to for a second doubt your love and whatever. Okay, why are you shaking your head? Is my own experience.
No, I'm listening to you.
Wait. If I have that, if I know my husband and I know that I just know you and you've never made me feel like there's anyone better than me, anyone better than me, or anything like that.
I agree with you.
I will not be insecure. But the thing is, because everyone has insecurities in it. So for me, you will only trigger my insecurities if I feel like you are capable of doing that shit.
Let me say something.
Can I actually say something?
Okay,
Defend
but
yourself,
I want to say
go on.
something after you.
Because
And I'm gonna go after you.
Anyone else?
Go on.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
What it is that if my woman said this to me, there's two things. One, tapping.
You.
No.
Anyway, carry on.
When you was doing something, it was you that was tapping.
I know my woman's not going to cheat on me. She knows I'm not going to cheat on her. And that's the end of it. So there's nothing to be there is nothing to be insecure about. The only insecurity comes when I feel you might do something. The minute I feel you might do something, that is when the insecurity is there. And my wife knows I would never do something like that. I would even cuss her. The amount of times in the beginning when the thought even came up, and I've finished that. Whatever glimpse of maybe that might have happened with me, it got finished way in the beginning because like similar to what Mr. Wall said. If you even think that, then just go, because I'm the truth. I would never lie to you. I ain't doing it. End of story. Finished. End of done. The reason I can tell you this, or the reason that you can trust me, is because I tell you everything. I tell you everything. Yeah. So that this is the point. There is nothing to hide. There is nothing for her to be insecure. Go on then talk. Go on. Go on. Go on.
Can I say something on that insecurity? I'm very sorry. Just on that insecurity thing, I have certain insecurities, and when I've dated certain guys, those insecurities have not popped up. The only time they pop up is when the guy gives me a reason to feel insecure. So I get that in terms of you saying that you don't make her feel insecure to think that you would do anything. So I would say I agree with that. Just want to say that, then you can go.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever cheated before?
Yes.
Did that person that you spoke to, have you told her that same thing? That you, no, in fact, not even them. Before you did what you did,
no.
Before you did what you did, did you ever think you would ever cheat on anyone?
No.
Exactly.
So then, as far as I'm concerned, this is what I always say this thing before, because I had that same experience. This person would never cheat on me.
Can I give you an example of what we count as cheating? Because I
was in a previous relationship.
I count as cheating. Yeah, no, with this woman. I count as cheating, but most people wouldn't.
Fair enough thing.
I was going out with a person. I was in a 3-year relationship, and then we broke up. And then I started seeing this one person.
And he got head. How many joking?
Oh, because I was like...
You see, I was looking like...
Wow.
Literally, like, I was like... I was so silent. I was never silent.
So you're free relationship.
And you had a break?
You had a break.
What the fuck?
You had a break?
No, there was no break. We broke up.
Okay.
And then I saw somebody else.
Yep.
And I said we went on a few dates.
Yeah.
And then we said, and when I mean a few, it was very few, it was maybe 4 or 5. And I said, we decided that we're gonna be okay, right, fine. That we're gonna make it concrete.
Okay.
I went back to tell the last one that, you know, because
why would you do that?
No. Let him land.
Keep going. They were very close together. It's not like there was a massive gap or whatever. It was very close.
It would be. Yeah. The game is a game, okay?
I went back to tell the last one goodbye, and our goodbye was a bit more of a goodbye than it should have been. And then that is it. And then I went forward with the other one. I never did anything for the 3 years that we were together. I never did anything. So I in my heart, I still count that as
that is disgustingly cheating. Are you alright?
Of course, you're cheating.
I was hoping that in the moment you were going to say something, I was going to say to you, no. I was really hoping, you were going to say something, and I was going to say to you, oh no, that was not cheating. That is. Am
I the only one that doesn't think that's cheating?
That doesn't.
How dare you? You went back to say goodbye.
It's not cheating because you.
Are you mad?
No. Do you know what's cheating? Wait, let me land, because we both.
I love a kind of woman, you know.
You see what I'm saying? They accept rubbish. Kick out.
No. Wow.
I'm so shy for you.
No, the reason. So basically, you're saying that you broke off with her and you went back to say goodbye, and then
whilst in a relationship,
and then it escalated, and you ended up doing stuff like you had sex, basically. Yeah. In that moment, I'm the one to blame for letting you come back. You're saying goodbye, and I let you have sex with me.
No.
I'm
finished. No, I can't let you finish. That is not your fault. That is
No, it's not. It's not. The reason why I'm saying this is because
I can't believe who I'm sitting next to right now.
I don't think she understands the story. I can't believe that you understand the story. And
wait. Can I tell you the story, please? Because you definitely do not.
You're
understand
saying that you broke up with her. You went back.
Girl 1, I broke up with.
Yeah.
I started dating girl 2.
Yeah.
Girl 2 and I decided that we're gonna become an item.
Exclusive.
Okay.
I like the way. Look at the two of
Exclusive.
you.
That's what you said.
But you've broken up with girl 1.
Then when I went back to girl 1 to tell her goodbye, something happened.
And then you started again. Or
No,
you?
no. That was it. Never.
girl one,
Nothing
and continue with girl
ever
two.
happened with girl one again.
Yeah.
She's gone. And then girl two and I had a relationship that was.
So you didn't tell girl one that you were seeing girl two.
I can't remember what I told girl one.
Because if you did tell girl one that you were seeing,
we're not talking about girl one. We're talking about girl two.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, because you're saying you went
She
back
don't
to
care about girl two, boy.
no, because you're saying that you went to girl one to say goodbye.
Pick me, please.
My friend,
Let her finish, let her
you said you went to
Louder,
go.
'cause-
You said you went to go one to say goodbye, whatever. But I'm saying when you went to say goodbye, did you tell her? Oh, I've started seeing someone else. By
It
the way,
doesn't matter. We weren't together anyway.
doesn't matter.
no, but still, because if
I
the
can't
thing
remember,
is,
it's a long time
if
ago.
you didn't tell me, cool, I don't know. So therefore, it was cheating. But if you've told me I'm seeing someone else,
Cheating one or two.
He's still cheating. The girl is not my man. He's
we've
my man.
broken up.
I don't fucking care.
Listen.
Wait,
I'm not getting it wrong.
wait.
I'm not getting it
Let me
wrong.
explain the story to her, please. Because
Go on.
basically, he was going out with a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they broke up, as in it's finito, it's
Yeah.
finished. Yeah.
Yeah.
He started seeing someone else. He and the someone else then became exclusive. So now we dating. So
Yeah.
now with his fussed up self,
Why is he saying goodbye?
decided to go back and say goodbye to girl one.
For what reason? No one knows.
Okay.
And then he and girl one did a little something. And then
Did you tell girl two?
Yeah, in the end.
But not at the beginning.
No,
I'm
it's
cowards.
Okay, so that girl.
Yes, I was a coward. Yes.
So with the girl, what? Because in my mind, you're going to say goodbye as like this is the final. Like
When you broke up, you said goodbye.
we're breaking up.
I wish.
Listen.
I was gonna say it.
So you're being selfish there in that sense, then.
In the end,
I was wrong.
I like-
and
It's
this
not being selfish. He was cheating.
No, it is
like
being selfish. You want to have
Ghanaian
your cake and eat it.
But he
no,
was- but he
because I didn't understand. I didn't understand the story properly. I thought you're going back to say, by the way, we're done. And obviously things escalate, like you're kissing whatever.
Okay,
things escalate.
okay, but can you just say that he cheated?
See,
I don't know.
Wait a minute. Wait. So basically,
Wait a
Kuya.
minute.
No, wait
If
a
we're
minute.
broken up-
No. Wait a
We
minute.
need
Wait
to
a
stop
minute.
that R. Kelly
So
thing, you
Kuya,
know.
you and your man are together.
Everything's okay.
Nah, I can't believe this right now. I'm very shocked.
I don't know.
No, wait a minute.
Have you done this before?
Wait a minute.
What do you mean?
Have you done this before?
No,
I haven't. No, I haven't.
No, we're gonna get to the bottom of this because I'm very confused right now. Wait a minute. So you and your man are together.
Yeah.
You and your man are together.
I didn't mean
You
for it to
guys
go
break up.
this way, you know.
Nah.
I didn't mean for it to go this way.
Wait a minute. You guys break up.
Yeah.
So your man starts seeing someone else. Yeah?
Which he can, yeah.
Which he can.
Yeah.
Because you're single.
Yeah.
When you broke up, that was the goodbye. There's no times for part 2, part 3 of goodbyes. The breakup was the goodbye, yeah?
To God be the glory has already been
He's-
written.
Everything, the whole script. So he's seen another girl now, yeah? He's basically moved on from you. They're now official, he and the other girl. He comes back to say goodbye to you another time unprovoked.
But you know what I say? Yeah, that
No, wait, let me land. No, wait,
Do you know why I say that girl one is-
wait a minute, let me land. He comes back to say goodbye to you,
Yeah.
and it ends up like, let's just, for example, fucking you or whatever.
Yeah.
He didn't cheat on girl 2.
The
Even though,
reason-
wait, Kuya. Do you know what? Fuck this. You are girl 2. Yeah? Because I think you're not getting
Oh,
because
we're
you're girl
saying
1.
that we're saying that you cheat on girl 2. Yeah, you definitely did.
So why you think we was talking about all
No,
this time?
because I thought you were talking about girl 1. Because I'm thinking about, I don't give a fuck about girl 2.
care about her.
I'm still thinking about girl 1 as in like.
You're putting yourself in girls' one
Yeah, I'm
position.
putting myself in girls' one position. Is I allowed you to come
her
back.
position.
I'm saying I allowed you to come back and have sex. So therefore, it's my fault because what you allow is what is going to continue.
No, we're
If
talking
we're
about girl
done,
two.
then you shouldn't even be in my house. We're done.
I feel nothing.
no,
I feel
But you
there was
definitely
nothing- I didn't-
cheated on girl 2.
Okay.
All right,
That's
so
yeah.
the point I was trying to make in the first place
Don't
is
believe
that
this.
he didn't think he would do that.
I'm so
and before he
stressed.
did it, he never thought he would do that.
not
And
gonna-
hold on. Let me finish. There's hundreds of millions of probably men out there that before they cheated on their wives that they've loved for the rest of their lives have never thought that they would cheat on their wife. And I'm not saying that you're gonna cheat on your wife. Hold on, let me finish.
No, because you're talking. We're not talking generic. We're talking about me. I'm not gonna cheat on my wife.
I don't believe you're gonna cheat on your wife. No.
I'm not gonna cheat on my wife.
I'm gonna say no for you, but I don't.
Say
But what I'm gonna say to you now is,
all right,
hold on, let me finish talking.
I will say it then because you're not saying it when anything. So I will say it with him.
You said the chest.
I'll say it. I will never, ever cheat on my wife, on my life, or on my life.
We've already had this
I'll put it
discussion
on there.
before.
No,
There's
because
circumstances that you might do it.
no, I'm not going to cheat on my wife. It's just that simple.
On my
so
wife.
that's the end of it. So,
Okay, fair enough.
So no. Because what you've done is you've taken a generic example of something that could happen to somebody else, and taking into account, we're talking about my life.
No, we're talking about
no.
White people are right to be insecure about
Yes,
things.
but then-
But if you let me finish talking and say what I was saying.
No, because we're
Alright,
talking
go on,
about,
say what you're saying.
because we're talking about me. I'm being very
detective. Go on, say what you're
So we're talking about my life and my wife and why she's not insecure. So you can talk about other people, but I'm talking about my wife and she has no reason to be insecure. So the minute you keep saying but, what you're doing is you're taking away from me saying my wife in this situation that is about my life and my wife has no reason to be insecure. So there's no but. There's no but. That's the end of this. That is the end of it
for you.
So no, that's
because I don't feel there's anything wrong with her being insecure.
But she is not.
I don't care whether or not she's not. I'm saying
but
that if she decided she wanted to be insecure, there will be no problem with her being
because I could cheat on her.
Yeah.
No, it's got nothing to do with you being
If I'm not going to cheat on her, then
No,
what's the
because you could, as far as I'm concerned,
Because you might trigger something from the past as well.
there is no reason for somebody. I don't care whether or not you.
That's a
If
good
you
point.
can tell me as much as you like, I'm not going to do something. If you put something into my brain, it's in my brain. I might agree with it. Tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to do this. I'm not. There's things in my brain that I don't think about or I don't think it's going to happen. But I know in my brain it's there,
you know
and it can happen because you put it there.
Finish saying whatever you want to say to try and break my
I was
relationship
gonna
so we can move on because it's just a nonsense.
For me,
and then we'll get to the actual thing of defending your wife when slander is happening.
No, but what he's saying is that if in that, because he was bouncing off.
She's talking
No,
for
wait,
me now,
he
go
was
on.
bouncing off what Queer had said. I think when she was making sense. He was.
You're right. You need to chill.
I'm not gonna let go of this whole cheating thing that you just did.
I didn't know we were talking about girl too.
She misunderstood.
All
She
right,
misunderstood.
whatever.
The Nigerians coming at you now.
Fucking hell.
Okay, so what he's saying is that if in that moment, a guy, let's not use your wife and yourself anymore because that's
But
a bit
we
personal.
are, so there's nothing you can say is going to take. Because
Okay,
I'm talking about in
wait,
general.
Wait, but
I'm not talking about.
Okay. But what he's saying
She
is
wants to
that
use it general.
if a girl's husband tells her that, if she was insecure, she had a right to be, whether or not you could cheat or you might not cheat or any of that, she has a right to feel insecure based on the information you've given her. And I get that because I feel like as well, it might not even be about you cheating. It might just be a blast from the past. It might just be something that triggers like something that previously happened to her or something like that. Do you get what I mean? So I think that's what we're trying to do. Let's just put the pin in it,
I'm
so-
not saying that your wife has
I don't know why you're still talking.
Oh my god.
I don't think you do. I probably think you don't get it.
I do get it.
But then you would stop.
No, I wouldn't. Because I don't. You won't let me finish talking. Every time I try to talk.
Listen. I get why Stavros is being the way that he is, but what everybody else is doing is that they're putting themselves in
the
a
shoes.
situation outside of your relationship,
Yeah.
and what you're doing is you're making the point known that that it is about you and your wife. But when other people are thinking about it, they're thinking about themselves in a situation, or maybe a friend or a friend of a friend. I get that.
What I can understand is these two ladies, as I said, they don't know me. They've come into this situation and whatever. Yeah. This situation is not something we pluck stuff off the timeline and we make stuff up in our heads and we discuss it. This is not one of those situations. This is something that's actually happened. So you cannot divorce it from the reality of the situation. All right. So my brother that knows me and knows my wife. Yes. And I told you I take it personal. So as far as I'm concerned, if it was the other way around, I'm sure everyone would know what I would do. I would shut up. It's because I would. Because it comes a point where, like I said, it is a real situation. You keep saying you understand why she would feel a certain way.
I said I can understand why any woman can feel a certain way.
I don't care about any woman.
Yeah, but the whole point was this is what I'm saying. You're not listening to what happened with the whole discussion because you're taking everything personally. The discussion was
so then why don't you say
because you won't let me finish talking
because I don't.
Okay, so what Mr. Wolf was saying is right in that what we're doing is we're putting ourselves in the shoes of my hypothetical Sean on my air single. So my hypothetical man, if he told me that, so we're making it a general thing, but then because it's your story, which obviously I get as well, because it's your story, you're interpreting it as we're saying this is how your wife is feeling. We're saying that this were your intentions. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, I think we
I
should
just cut this whole thing, man, because it's probably annoyed me.
Why are you cutting it for?
I said I feel to. I didn't say I
Okay,
would.
swiftly moving on.
Talk about your
What's the
thing.
next thing?
the thing about
Let's spot the conversations, man. taking things personally, but it's forget it, man. If you feel like it's about you and you're taking it about you, then I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't mean it about you. I'm talking in general.
If it was
because
about
we was
me,
talking about in general.
About me.
No, because actually, what Esther was saying was right. When Oku was saying, you know what, I can understand why I could take that as insecurity. And hold on, let me finish talking, please.
I don't want you to. Oh my God. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be quite happy with this. If you don't get what I'm saying, that there's certain things
I don't care what you're saying now. I don't care.
All right, okay. If you don't,
I don't care what you're saying anymore,
Bruv.
So let's if you're not gonna listen to me and let me respect me when I'm talking,
Who are you disrespecting?
I'm not disrespecting anyone.
Of course
That's the point.
you are, and you don't.
No, you're not, because you're taking it as personal. You took it personal.
Somebody else.
You took it personal.
Can somebody else talk to him? Simple. Can you explain
the
it?
first one to scream, everyone else is a bitch.
Simple.
You can't say no. My wife,
and
then what does he always tell us as well? My wife has got no problem with anything I'm saying. I'm not even talking about your wife, and you got a problem about it.
Simple. Can you explain it?
Can we just go on to a different subject? There's nothing for me to
Explain it, bro.
I don't know what I'm explaining.
Thank you.
I've actually turned off of this conversation a long time ago.
You've taken it personal.
Yeah, but I get why he's taking it personal.
Yeah, but I already told him I'm talking about his wife.
I know.
So why is he still taking it personal?
The reason being is that
If somebody told you I'm not talking, Mr. Wolf, I'm gonna ask you a question. If Steph says to me, I'm not talking about this thing, if Steph said to me, I'm not talking about this thing, and I told him, yes, you are, what would he say to me?
Don't tell me what I'm. Yeah. He would.
You're not getting it.
The thing
Nobody cares about you're getting, bro. Because somebody's telling you I'm not talking about your wife. I've said this so many times. Whether or not you think that, do you care about what the other people are thinking? Do you care about what the rest of the world are thinking or something? So then what's your problem if I'm telling you I'm not talking about your wife?
You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're repeating something.
Go and say what you're saying. Okay. Explain yourself.
No, this is the thing. I don't want to, and I understand why you could get upset with that part. That's fine. Yeah, but when I'm telling you something, then maybe you should listen.
But why are you telling me something if there's no problem?
Who said there was no problem?
What's the problem then? Say what the problem is.
Before at the start of my sentence, I said that I can understand how you get angry if I don't explain it. But I'm not going to explain it right now. If there are times where you don't explain to me something and you're saying maybe you should stop, and
you don't,
and I do.
Okay, stop.
I'm not sure anymore.
The thing is, I get both parts, but to be fair, you know, I'm gonna be honest.
Go on.
We're all putting ourselves in the shoes of this scenario. At this point, it's a scenario.
Yes.
We're forgetting that it's personal to you in a sense. You get what I mean?
No, I haven't forgotten. He hasn't forgotten.
Wait. But at the same time, obviously, it's personal to you. So whatever we say, you're going to think as we're saying this is how you're thinking, this is your thought, or whatever it is.
Not me.
But to be fair, though, to be fair, he actually hasn't finished his point.
My point is irrelevant because somebody's going to take it away, I'm assuming now.
Who?
I don't know, because you're saying not me. So who else is going to take it away?
Who?
I don't know.
People out there who might have the same scenario.
No, who cares about them?
Dead. Just trying to help.
Swiftly moving on.
What I said was, you ladies don't know me.
Yeah.
He knows me.
Yeah.
And he's saying that maybe I'm keep dismissing that. Maybe it's not me. But I said, you know me and you know everybody else in the situation.
Yeah.
So then when I'm telling him to fall back on certain things, I think you should just fall back. I don't think it should be, I must get my point across. I think it should be, okay, you've asked me to fall back on something that is really, we didn't mean to discuss it. It was only to do with a topic that he was meant to bring up. I only brought it up just to go to the other topic.
Yeah.
I wasn't here. We spoke about this last week. Yeah. We didn't need to talk half an hour about this.
I get that, but in the day it's a debate, right? And obviously he's allowed to express his opinion. No. And I understand that because no, he is.
On my watch.
He is, and I understand that because obviously it's personal to you. But I think he was saying in general, like the general consensus, like the generalizing as in sense that any woman it's okay for you to be insecure. I would be insecure in that sense, and that's
why he was busting because he was busting off what Aquia said. He was busting off Aquia's point of insecurities.
Mm-hmm. But then,
I get both of y'all, you know.
Then when you said anyone,
yeah,
so any woman could feel insecure.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it brings it back to you're including anyone, any woman,
but not necessarily. It might not, but when anyone doesn't necessarily mean my woman included, because you've already let us know that she is not insecure about the situation. So we understand that.
But any woman could be insecure.
Yeah, because
then any woman could be insecure. You can't have it both ways. It's either anyone can be insecure Or no, not everyone can be
No,
insecure.
but anyone could be insecure.
Anyone.
Well, then,
But the
well,
thing
then
is-
anyone can be insecure.
Yeah, but anyone can be insecure.
But
But,
you've
you
told
know
us-
your wife is not insecure.
Yeah, I think you're missing the point. When the minute you say anyone, you mean anyone.
Okay.
You don't mean some.
Okay, some
Yeah?
then.
No,
Okay,
yeah,
some.
You mean
Some.
some.
but the point is,
He's like, it's too late to change it now.
that's the point. The point is,
I mean everyone.
yeah. So
I
that
mean
so
everyone.
that is my point. Everyone, and I'm saying no. So the minute you
I
say
disagree
everyone, you're
Because that's what I believe.
You're including.
There is
everyone.
nothing wrong with somebody feeling insecure
No
about
one's
something.
saying
There is
that.
nothing.
There is nothing wrong.
Right?
There's
So
nothing wrong
everyone
with
can feel insecure about something.
No
the
one
word
can
that-
say
and
not
that's-
something.
And that's the point he was
We're
trying
not
to
talking
make.
about something.
Whatever that particular thing, anyone can feel insecure about
Can I
that.
just
that's
say the
fine.
word?
I never said your wife does feel insecure about it. I said there is nothing wrong if she did.
And look, can I just say the word "can" is a possibility, yeah. So it's not a
definite.
fact. It's not a definite that every woman is going to. If that was a statement made, then that's definitely every woman is going to definitely feel insecure. But if you can, there's an element of there's a possibility that you potentially
You cannot.
feel this way. It's not a fact. It's not a certain. So therefore, your wife may not or is not insecure by whatever's
My
happening.
issue was the way that people were talking about somebody that might feel insecure about that was in a negative way, like that's something dumb.
It's
and that's
not.
in my head. That's not nothing dumb for somebody to feel insecure about
who
that.
said that?
The way when you were talking about it, it was like, oh, well, no, I shouldn't really feel insecure about that. No, that's something I should. And I think, yes, you could. There is nothing.
Who
wrong.
said that?
You and Esther.
all
Both of
I-
you said that somebody shouldn't. You said it. Somebody should not, if they're confident and whatever in their relationship,
yeah.
they should not feel insecure about that. And I'm thinking, well, no, they can actually feel.
So,
there's
okay.
nothing
And
wrong with
it's
being
okay.
confident even if you're in your logic way. There is still, I can still say no. Logically, there is still a little bit of me allowed to have some doubt in there, regarding whether or not I trust you or not. There is still enough of me to have some doubt in there. Even if it's a case of maybe not even cheating, maybe somebody might feel in their head that I don't like my husband lingering a bit too close to this woman. Even if I know he's not going to do something, doesn't mean I want that person to be around my husband, because obviously he doesn't even want to be around her to be around him. There is nothing wrong with that discussion. That's insecurity.
The element of doubt can always be introduced as long as there are people that bleed. Just that.
Drops mic.
Anyway, it was a segue to whatever you wanted to talk about. So
One hell of a long segue.
To be honest, it's a bit.
Yeah, we
Can
actually
you imagine?
Yeah, it was a long,
Go on.
long one.
Go
I
Hala.
don't even remember what the question was now, man.
It was defending
the
your wife in
seg-
public.
The segue.
Well,
was
he's
about-
done it in he's done it as an example now, so there's no reason for us to even get into it, because you showed a real example of how people defend their woman in public, even when people are not even discussing their woman.
I am not happy with the job I did.
We've had a live case study.
I'm not happy with
Is
it.
it because
I
you
think
think
you
she's
did
going to
well.
listen back to him and think
She doesn't even listen.
So it's
Nah,
like
I'm
we
not gonna
haven't
lie
said
to
anything
you.
bad
But
though.
because
And I'm
I
not-
talk to my wife, she'll listen to this one.
But we haven't
But
said
the thing is-
anything
no, but
bad.
I'm not just saying this because we're here.
Yeah, go on.
But I think you have defended in the right way. I don't think you've done a bad job.
It's not
defending
even
her.
me. I'm disappointed in other people right now.
I think you made
No, but the thing is, he
it
didn't-
worse for your wife
But the thing
in the
is,
discussion that you had.
But the thing is, he didn't say it direct at your wife. But because it's a situation that's personal to you,
It is about me. So
Yeah, that's the thing. So
that's what I said. You
that
cannot
makes
divorce
sense.
it. You keep and
Yeah,
the
so
minute you keep
that
trying
makes
to take it away.
sense.
I said fine, but then let's leave it. And it's like, well, no, I must keep saying this.
Because you wouldn't let me finish. If you had let me finish and I'd got to the end, it would have gone like nothing. Nobody would even have thought about it in any way.
But you had-
because the whole reason I was having the discussion in the first place is because I was talking about the fact that when you lot were discussing it, you was making it sound like when Akuya was saying that, at some point I might feel insecure about it. You was making it sound like she was wrong in having that. And I was thinking, nah, there ain't
No,
nothing
I
wrong with
said
that.
my wife. That's what I
Yeah,
kept saying.
you're saying your wife, but the discussion was when she said it. So I was discussing that, and I said, no, there's nothing wrong. And then when we was talking about the cheating thing and blah blah blah, the only reason I brought that thing up in the first place is because every man always says that they will never cheat. There's men out there that always say they don't cheat. Yeah,
Men don't cheat.
men they don't cheat until they
black
cheat.
men don't cheat.
Until they cheat, and they wouldn't think they're gonna cheat
So,
until they've done it. Hold on,
okay.
let me finish talking. They won't think they're gonna do it until they've done it. So I'm saying there's some women that will hear that and say, well, you say you weren't gonna cheat, but you've done it.
And do you know what's funny though? Because that's how we actually started. Because remember I was saying Mr. Wolf was talking about how women like to take a pinch of salt out of whatever men say. I sort of throw in there that when I said that Nigerian men were trash, I didn't mean I meant that.
Okay. All right, Madka. Even though I've told you I'm not going to cheat on you, clearly I'm going to cheat on you. So,
Oh my god.
Ah, come on.
so you might as well just leave me now. Just remember
it just came out in it.
the baby.
The petty.
The baby.
You really fear her, isn't it?
I wonder if he's got an Hitachi.
No, but at home.
So
but
petty.
That he rubs on himself.
is it petty or did man not actually
it's
point?
petty,
Hold on. Did man
It's
not
a
point
general
out an actual
statement.
situation?
It's a generous
No. Because the reason that you know I've cheated on somebody, it wasn't because I put it, was it?
But that's a cute story time though.
No. But my point is, as part of him trying to prove the point that all men can cheat, even if they say they wouldn't, he pointed out that you, Stavros, not random, anybody, you, Stavros, have said you wasn't going to cheat. You, Stavros, hold on, let me finish. Thought you weren't going to cheat, and you, Stavros, actually cheated.
But-
so, hold on.
Okay, sorry.
So not only, so it's, whether we want to talk about generic, whether we want to talk about everyone else, what we're talking about is Stavros. Stavros thought he was going to do something, and Stavros did something else. And Stavros maybe understands why.
It's an
understands why.
Let him finish.
Stavros,
I want to come back.
Don't.
The reason why I want to do that is because I hold you in such high self-esteem as the benchmark of mans don't do that, but you still did it. So it can happen to any man. So when people are telling when men are telling a woman that they might not cheat, some people in their head, knowing full day that they'll never do it, can still do it. So some
You
men
never
can
know when the
say
situation
as
is
well,
presented to you what you're gonna do.
Yeah, and can I say as well, that argument
So-
from him came from me saying how if a guy makes me feel
That's
secure,
money calling this guy, man.
if a guy makes me feel secure and blah blah, and if I feel secure,
It's
whatever.
not about me. I see you don't get it. You don't get it.
It's about you, man. It's about you.
Wait, can I say that him saying that came off me talking about how if a guy makes me feel secure, then and I feel like you wouldn't cheat, blah blah blah. You know, then I'm not gonna feel insecure about it.
Yeah, but-
So in a way,
But
but in a way, he was telling me
Yes.
that just because you feel like you're that secure, but like you feel like your man's gonna do that, you feel like you know your man or whatever, it could still happen.
Because you co-signed it. The way you was like, yes.
Because
blah,
when-
blah, blah.
no,
And I was thinking, but
yeah.
it can happen.
And because when Akuya said about the insecurity thing,
Wednesday.
you and I were
My
like,
friend.
no wait,
Hold it.
bare ad libs. Because when Akuya said, I'm tracing the conversation back now. Because when Akuya said about insecurities in
memory. You have good
relationship,
memory.
very good, mate. You see, when Nigerian men cheat on you, anyhow, you have to remember things. Because when Akuya said about insecurities, you and I were saying how if you make your wife secure, or if you make your girl secure, then you have no reason to take whatever you say, blah blah blah.
Right.
But let's just move forward, innit?
Yeah, just go to the next.
Forward ever, backward never.
Just don't be surprised if all just gets cut out anyways.
I won't be surprised. Nigerian men move mad.
No, we'll leave it in. And hopefully my wife won't leave me.
She wouldn't, man.
All right. Well, why not? Because I'm a cheater, innit?
Yeah.
No.
yeah.
Yeah, you are. Not random.
Okay,
You're
segue.
making, you know when he said you're making it worse for yourself,
So
you
hang on.
actually.
Yes, I'll keep making it worse. Because I tried to stop it a long time
No,
ago.
but I feel like your wife
Do you
knows
become a
said-
thing because you've done something once, or do you become a thing out of habitual?
No, you did it because you did it once.
No, there you go.
No.
Sorry, if you did it once, I'm sorry. If a man cheats on me one time, boy, you a cheater. If you lie to me once, you're a liar. I'm not going to wait for you to do it 5 times.
So
Fair.
so
That's
when
not
you've
fair
lied,
statement.
you're a liar then. So when you've lied in your life, you're a liar. Is that what you're saying?
Sometimes.
No, but it's not sometimes. You're now a liar because you've done it. That's what you
yeah.
just said.
Yeah.
So you're a liar.
Basically,
so
I lie.
I shouldn't take your.
So you're not
I
trustworthy
shouldn't-
then?
Yeah, you're not trustworthy. I
That's
should
your business. Don't trust me then.
Okay.
Every each their own. But you can't cheat on me once and say because, oh, babe.
No,
it was just this one time.
But what about
Don't
a
judge me
previous?
because my thing is you got it in your character to do so. I think with cheating and stuff, yeah,
You have everything in your character to do everything.
and that's fair enough. But if
That was
but
my ultimate point.
and that's fair enough. But you went ahead and you cheated. You're a cheater,
What
man.
What about a previous or someone that you've recently met and they've told you about a story that they cheated maybe in their previous
Yeah.
or the one before that?
before they
Yeah.
were born again.
You know, would you have the same kind of energy?
I wouldn't be if I trust you. I wouldn't be insecure that you're gonna cheat on me. But if you cheat on me, I will be like, you did tell me you're gonna cheat on me.
Yeah.
I still
I
think you're a
don't
cheater,
think-
but you're just
No, wait,
cheated.
no.
You cheated in the past. That's all.
You cheated in the past. I'm not gonna be too shocked.
I don't think that's a fair statement because any day everyone has a past. I think my thing is when you get to me, as long as that situation, whatever you used to do, doesn't come into our little situation, then it's calm. But I don't think it's fair to say that, because I lied about something, I'm a liar, or because I stole something, I'm a thief.
But you are.
I think
I don't think that's fair.
Bruv, come on.
Because everyone's made mistakes. We are not perfect.
And you should be judged by your good things and your bad things.
That means that if we're judging you by every single bad thing that you've done, then you're genuinely a bad person. So can we say that you're a bad person then?
Yeah, we're not perfect.
If you want to put it that way, you could do, but you could say that I've done 20 bad things and I've done 200 good things. So then you can weigh up and say,
So therefore, I can't judge you on the 20 bad things.
You judge me on everything.
But
because
I've done
it.
I can't even say it. Not negatively.
Yeah, but you can though, because I've done it. I put myself in a position where you can do that. If I didn't want to put myself in a position for you to do that, I wouldn't do it.
I
might not say you're a liar, or I'm gonna say you're a cheater, but I would say you've got the ability to cheat.
Everyone has the ability to do everything. I have the ability to kill someone. Everybody has the ability to.
But I'm not a murderer though. But if I kill someone, but if I kill someone one time, I'm a murderer now.
And that's what I was going to say, is that there's different scales for these kind of things. So you've got the extremes like rape, murder, and then if you steal a sweet from Sainsbury's,
you're a thief.
You understand? Then you're considered to be a thief. Now, if you've done that when you're like 21 years old and now you're 41, you haven't stolen anything in 20 years.
You used to be a thief.
But then that's past tense, isn't it? You can't consider somebody to now be.
Why is that not fair?
thief.
You did that shit. You guilty
You
as fuck.
understand?
And I accept I did that, but you cannot hold me. You cannot say that if let's just say hypothetically, I cheated in the past situation. Yeah.
Ooh, you cheater.
I didn't. But hypothetically, I cheated in a past situation, and let's just say, I kept on cheating them up. I'm a repeat offender.
You're a serial cheater.
You can say, okay, yeah, I'm a cheater, but you can't then turn around and say, oh yeah, like you're gonna do this to me in that situation. I understand why you think that, but you cannot then label me as a cheater, because in that situation you don't know what's gonna happen. Yes, I can do it, but what if I don't do it?
I think everyone's different, and the way I see it,
you ever felt up girls
before?
No,
never felt up girls. You ever taken something that wasn't yours before?
No.
I think
I don't believe that.
No, I am doing it.
No, but do you know what it is there?
I've done bad things, but that's not the time.
Okay, but give me
I think everyone's different, yeah. And it's all right for you to think that maybe someone's not a cheater and someone's a liar, but that's you, and that's how you decided to think. Me, if you're dating me and you tell me you've cheated in the past, if you cheat on me, I will be shocked and that you did it to me. But you're a cheater.
That's different.
Wait. If you tell me I murdered someone before, you're a murderer. I get that there's different things. You might lie, and I might not call you a liar on an everyday scale.
Why?
Because wait.
Hang on.
You might lie. No, wait. You might lie, and I might not necessarily call you a liar in that. I'm gonna look at you like you're a liar every day, but that's because there's different scales to things. So for me, someone else, someone else who takes being lied to more seriously than being cheated on will say you're a liar and they will not think you're a cheat. But me, there's certain things that I personally in my life cannot stand. So if you lie to me, I don't like a liar. I won't call you a liar per se, but I might let it slide. But if you cheat one time, you're a cheater. If you rape somebody one time, in my eyes, I don't care how renewed you are. If you haven't,
but
whatever.
When you're saying cheat,
but that's
you're
me.
talking about cheat on you or cheat in the previous.
If you cheated in the past,
you consider them to be a cheater.
So basically,
you just haven't had the opportunity to do it.
Because I know some people that are very strong when it comes to lying and things like that, and I know some people have been dishonest. So I think that there's also different scales of maybe telling the truth or less of the truth, and people have done that and still throw this thing of you're a liar or you're this or you're that.
Yeah.
You get me? So
but they also themselves also liars as well. There's nothing wrong with the two of them being liars.
That's the thing, because the thing is, I'm not gonna lie. With my ex here, my ex lied to me one time. One time he lied to me and I was like, you're a liar. You lie. This is something that you do. This is something that I have now accepted that you do. Like, this is something that you do unprovoked. So I didn't go around calling him like, hey, liar, morning liar, or whatever. But in my mind, you're a liar. You lie unprovoked. You lie when you don't need to lie. In my mind, you're a liar. So he did it one time. I caught him in a lie one time, and it wasn't even something that big of a deal. But I can't stand liars. So for me, you're a liar. He cheated another time. You're a cheater.
Everybody's a liar.
It's not in the case of like I'm not saying like I'm not saying. Can I finish? Sorry, guys.
No, go on.
I'm not saying like I'm gonna be like Like, I'm not saying like I'm gonna see every time, but like, hey, liar or whatever. Like, I'll be petty about it, whatever. But you are a liar.
But
because you lie.
So the funny thing is, when I asked you if you were a liar, you said,
I am a liar.
You wriggled out of it and said, well, not really.
I was joking, but I am a liar because I've lied before. Yes.
You're owning it now, yeah?
So then we're all liars then at this point.
Everybody's a fucking liar, yes.
But this is the thing. But I don't understand why people just accept what they are. You are
That's the thing. So
I just think it's unfair.
How can you? Why is it unfair? You did it.
No, wait, let me land. I think it's unfair to stigmatize people and say, you are a cheater because I have done this in my past situation. Yes, I was a cheater, but if we're in a different, if we're in a different situation, how do you know that I'm going to do this to you?
They don't
You need
know.
to exactly. So you need
But
to trust. You need to trust me that I'm not going to do this to you. If you've chosen to be with me, then you need to give me a clean slate and understand that. You do, because then it's not going to work.
About the beginning.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Let me say something.
If you're still judging me by my past situation.
I'm not saying that people should judge people for everything because you've done it, so you should be judged by
Fair.
it. But hold on,
Don't leave me, wife.
what I'm saying in the situation in regards to with stuff like this though is that whatever you've done in your past, you've done it, right? If I now know that you've done that in your past and you've told me and I accept that you've done that in your past, I don't expect that person to then continually bring that thing up and use it as a weapon against me
Exactly.
all the time, unless I give them reason to do so.
Yeah.
Right. So that bit I say, but doesn't mean that they have no right to then think about what I've done in the past and judge me on it because I've done it.
You can think about it, fair enough, but it's toxic to you for you to then keep bringing it up in a situation and say, oh, but you've done this before, so what makes you think you can't do it again? I can do it again, but you need to, if you've chosen to be with me, you need to understand that it's a clean slate. Fair enough, you might think about it. Oh yeah, he could be out right now. Oh yeah, he could potentially be cheating because this is what he done previously. But you need to understand that if I'm with you and you've chosen to be with me, it's a clean slate. I've been honest about what I've done in the past, and you need to now open a new chapter, a new book, and we're going to keep it moving from there. But you cannot say, oh yeah, because you've done it to me before. Because you've done it before, you could do it to me again.
But the difference in what we're saying is that I didn't say I was going to bring up every chance I get. I'm not going to see you and be like, good morning, liar. Good morning, cheater. I'm saying that you've done it in the past. You are that. I'm not saying that, you might do it to me. You might not do it to me, whatever. I'm not saying all of that. But if you do something, that is what you are. Like, you can't say it's unfair for me to judge you that, I'm sorry, you killed somebody, you raped somebody, so now I shouldn't call you that because you have now said, you personally said you've reformed. So, okay, a guy said he cheated in a past relationship. All right, cool. He has now said, I'm a changed person. Okay. But you still cheated. You still did it.
I just feel that my wife shouldn't leave me for what's happening in this podcast. No. There are things, I think, as Mr. Wolf said, I just think there's a scale. I think with murder, if you've murdered someone, you're a murderer. 20 years down the line, 50 years down the line, you're a murderer. If you cheated on someone once and you never did it again for the rest of your life, I think after a certain period of time... No. I'm not even talking about me. This is not about me. This is after a certain period of time. Then it ceases becoming you're a cheater, because I think immediately after that you're a cheater. I think after a certain amount of time you have cheated in the past. You're no longer a cheater if you're still in a relationship with whomever. And it just makes sense because
Imagine if God thought about us the way we think about ourselves.
I think I've let.
Can I say something though? Can I say something that the way you hold everyone? We've talked about how there's different magnitude to these things, different scales or whatever. But for somebody, cheating and murder might be on the same level of seriousness.
That's fine.
And so if you say you murdered someone one time, you're a murderer.
Yeah.
The person who sees cheating and murder on the same level can say you cheated one time.
So it's all personal
You're a cheater.
to the individual.
And that's the point I'm trying to make here, which is that these things are personal to everybody.
No one in their right mind should compare murder to cheating.
No, but these things are personal to everybody. We're not here to like say.
Personal to everyone.
Wait.
Kill their heart.
Wait. Can I just say, these things are personal to everybody, and everybody has a different way. Everyone has different life experiences or whatever. Like it's just all personal to everybody.
Okay.
But I think that what I'm saying is, I don't think that you can rightfully say that it is unfair for me, the way I think. My personal beliefs that it is unfair for me to label a guy who has cheated before a cheater. You don't want to label him that way, and that's fair enough.
I'll get that.
That's your that's a personal decision you've made in your life. But if I choose to do that, there's no wrong and right in these things, because I can see, in the same way I can see a murderer, he only killed one person, he's gone to prison, he's done his time. But a lot of people say that I've done time for it, I've learnt my lesson, I've moved on. But then you be like, yeah, but you're still a murderer though. Okay, but I killed someone like 60 years ago and I've done time. I'm now a Christian. In fact, I'm a priest. But then, do you get what I mean? So,
somebody might have run somebody over by accident and be a murderer, and people might not see them as a murderer. So it all depends on each person. So I feel like these things, some people
you can't. But then these things, you can't really say that there's a right or wrong. Everyone has a right to think whatever it is they want to think. Everyone has personal experience that will influence the way they think, and that's it.
Okay. All right.
But if you cheat on me, nigga, sorry. If you cheat on me, boy, sorry.
Can we bleep these?
If you can get me,
you can bleep them.
Sorry. If you cheat on me one time, you're a cheater.
So, I don't know when the last one was that she said it.
I tried to get the timing, but I haven't got the thing on me.
Oh, my bad.
What thing?
I can't see the time, but I was gonna try and get the time. Is the podcast over now? Is it?
Oh. No, man. It can be over, but
It's not over.
I'm so hot.
it's about 1 hour and 40 minutes. If you want it to be, over, it can be over.
He needs to go home and see his wife before she goes on holiday.
I don't mind. I can keep going for a little bit longer. only a little bit.
Mr. Wolf, I'd like to apologise. I've mocked you in the past for your old school ways of promotion with flying and talking about wanting to record video. And as we spoke last week, I think it's before you got here, actually. I don't know if you re-listened to the podcast, but before you got here, the Dead Man There guys were saying that one of the reasons...
Yeah, man.
Yeah, shout them out. One of the reasons that they caught many of the listeners that they did was because of old school flying outside of events, podcast events, basically.
Okay.
So finding an audience that was doing something that, or was listening to something that they were doing, and then just giving them old school flyers. And they said they got bare listeners from that. So that's one thing. Stavros feels that's a bit old fashioned. People don't do that anymore.
It's only because you're not a promoter.
People don't respond to that.
What, literally standing outside of an event and then giving out flyers of your podcast?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. That's different.
So yeah, Them Man Day said he did that in the beginning. So what, that be about 3 years ago. And he said that's how a lot of his early following came.
Yeah.
Another thing is video. I know you wanted to record video, and I was like, whatever. But I know that you ladies have now started doing that.
Yeah.
And I know that is a big thing for podcasts now. The videos get more hits than the audio. I know people that were just talking to our nephew the other day, and he was talking about he just started listening to Free Shots, which we'll get into in a second, anyways. And he was talking about not necessarily listening, watching it. He said he's somebody he knew was on a recent episode, and he had never listened to podcasts before, but because he followed this person, he listened to the podcast, and then he said he went back and listened to all of them. And he said he's gone past the whole 3-year catalog or whatever it is of Free Shots, and he said he mentioned watching them. He didn't say listening. So I was like, okay, so he's going on YouTube and he's watching them. So obviously that is a big deal too. So me just trying to be the big man. Wife, don't leave me. I'll do my own apology later on. Me trying to be the big man to you, Mr. Wolf, is just saying that I've mocked you in the past for saying and
for loads of things,
for trying to promote certain. Yeah, but those ones you haven't been vindicated for. So for these ones, I've mocked you for, and I would just like to apologize and say that I was wrong. Obviously, and if you get your promotion game on, maybe we'll get some more listeners. So these people like these women would actually. Yeah, the sweet must always come with the salt. You get me? So
that's what we have in the popcorn. Yeah.
All right. So, seeing as we bought our Free Shots, them guys have caught a deal with Spotify this week.
Congrats.
So shout them out. Congratulations to them. You wanted to talk about it, and what Stavros has had this already, because I said this. Well, you can go back up. What is it, about 3 months ago? I said Spotify is making moves before it ever touched the UK.
Yeah, me as well.
I said it. I see they're putting. I told you the company that they bought. They bought the podcast company. They bought a podcast network. Then everyone knows about Joe Budden being now exclusively on Spotify. Yeah. And I said these guys are getting their tentacles into the podcast game. They're trying to snatch everything and make it all in house. They want Spotify.
No one to come off Spotify.
Yeah, they want Spotify just to be the home of audio. Full stop. But you wanted to say something?
No, I was more of a congratulations and say that that's another move for the UK. Obviously, the BBC ones that they've been doing as well. Where there was half exclusive deals.
One extra, yeah.
Yeah, because Free Shots actually was on that as well at one point.
Yes, they were.
So they've done that one as well. So they're not making moves, innit? It's good to see that the podcast field is now open and, people are
Okay, well then just talk about one extra one, the newest one they do, because it seems like we have one black podcast at a time and we give them, was it 5 or 8 podcasts or something like that? Give them 6 weeks and then we rotate to the next one. So the Receipts podcast were first. Yeah, I think Free Shots were second. I think they had another one.
Then they went back to Receipts again. I think.
Yeah, but now they're on to Cut the Chat.
Cut the Chat, yeah.
And
I've never heard of that one.
Cut the Chat they were like us. They started
Long time ago.
I think we are the first like black podcast in the UK. As far as I'm concerned, we started 2010. They started just after us.
I think they might have been one of the first video ones.
They weren't doing podcasts. They started video. They started as a video. They started doing video first. Then they moved to podcast. Then they did both. I think they do both now. But end of the day, I'm still gonna take that in almost like a podcast kind of thing. Because that's what it is. It's a setting. It's the same setting in now. In fact, we're in a hair salon. They were in a barber's. It's the same thing.
This is a really good concept. You could do something with this.
Thank you.
Just wanted to throw that out there, by the way.
I appreciate that. But the arguing and everything.
No, as in like this, the setup.
Also
like,
recording in here.
Yeah, you could actually. This is different.
Speak to Mr. Wolf in it. He's the one that wants to record.
You could actually really.
He wasn't even listening, dog.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, go on.
No, I just wanted to say that like in this concept of you guys sitting in the salon, like it's different. Like with the whole you guys' own setup compared to being in the studio. Like, do you know what I mean? It's different, and I feel like you can actually really go far in terms of visuals with this setup.
That salon is One Stop Dreadlock Shop, by the way, on Halsey Road.
Man's
plug in.
Hear me? Man, shout the whole thing. When he wants to plug his
because she always do it. I don't do it well. She always says,
yeah, and then you do it. So
One Stop Dreadlock Shop on Halsey Road.
It's One Stop Dreadlock.
It's a shop, so they need to know that it's a shop.
Got the name wrong.
It's a salon.
Okay, salon dead. You see what I'm saying?
Oh.
Every time I say the thing, you know we're trying to snake man.
Oh yeah.
You see?
You go home and apologize to your
I
wife.
ain't apologizing. I tried.
He won't apologize, but Stavros will.
Yeah, you
apologize
have
to
to.
his wife. I don't have to apologize.
You see?
But
then why you there crying on the mic though?
Because I feel bad now.
You're Hitachi.
I feel bad.
You know what Hitachi is? You know them vibrators.
Oh, the big one, the one.
Because he's a clitoris, he must rub it on himself to make himself feel better about life.
I forgot what that even. Yeah, I just want to big up Cut the Chat because
We do call him the clitoris.
They were one of the early ones.
because he's very sensitive.
Are we done?
About Cut the Chat?
No, yeah, I'll big up Cut the Chat.
Jesus Christ.
As I said, it's just a good thing to see that the podcast world is getting to that point and things are going moving forward. And hopefully a couple of other podcasts will find their way on there. And hopefully people are getting the right pay for what they're doing as well, because that's going to be a big deal. Eventually people are going to notice how much their worth is, and then that's when the discussion starts to happen, because I'll be very interested to know what these guys have been valued at, because they're bringing a lot of listeners in on a weekly basis. So I'm hoping that they got what they deserve, and I'm hoping that Spotify understand the value of the UK podcast scene as well, and they go move forward in that way.
Opening doors for a lot of people, man.
Ladies, I'm going to ask you what you're expecting for the future of your podcast in 1 second. I'm just going to give people a little background. I might have to leave out some sort of names and stuff. But when we started season 2, I got in contact with somebody that knew somebody that gave us, that gave me the connect to somebody that was for a big podcast company.
It's a lot of somebody's.
Yeah. I'm going to give you the details. I want you to
somebody
to
that
reach
knows
out.
somebody that knows
So
somebody.
basically,
I've spoken to that person before.
I reached the woman. I reached out to this person and they listened to the podcast and they said, you know what, sorry, you're not what we like. You're not what we're looking for, because they were looking for something new, and they had come from the US, they come from this country, and they were ready to blossom basically. So they heard our thing and said, you know what, not for us, but keep in contact. So I tried, but clearly I failed.
You see what
I can't even remember. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But the point is that certain other podcasts that are popping now, that connect, sorted them out, and I'm not hating. I'm just saying.
Sound like you're hating.
I'm just saying that
we were on job. We were on job. That's the best way to describe it.
We weren't good enough. Does that say?
I don't know if we weren't good enough. I just thought we were on job.
We are good.
Did they say exactly what it was that they were looking for?
No, actually, no.
Listen,
just said that we're not exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that was verbatim what they said.
I spoke to that person.
Go on.
Very dismissive, so I just left it alone.
Oh, was that it?
Well, the person was dismissive.
Yeah.
I did give you the details then.
You didn't know. I spoke to the person on my own. And someone who's been in and around the music industry a long time ago, I don't think you guys would even know, but this person sounded like an old white person first listening to British hip hop music. I'm not sure where to categorize you. I don't know where you can fit in.
Okay.
So when I heard that, I was like, coming from somebody that is supposed to be one of our own.
You don't have the vision, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like just left it alone. I don't mind going back and having another chat, but I ain't got time for people like that.
No, who's person black?
We're petty out here.
Person's black?
Yeah.
We're petty out here. We don't go back. I would go back though still.
My missus said this to me. She said to me the other day, she said, "You're a pride person. You're pride. You would never do that." I said, if I need to get something, I would do it.
Yeah, that's what I
and then
said
once
that.
I got there and once I've conquered, then I will go
If
back.
you
and
man
get
say
my-
go-
and
go
and do my
back.
petty baby.
If you man say go back, then no problem. I'll have another
I think
conversation.
strip for it.
many of the big moves being made in the UK podcast scene is going through that channel.
Okay.
That's
Which
what
is-
I'm saying. Which is
We'll tell you later.
Damn,
it's all clock and dagger. So what is it you ladies are expecting for the future of your podcast? We'll wrap up with that and then we'll go. And we spoke about nothing that we wanted to speak about in this
We
podcast.
literally didn't. What do we want to do? We want to do more live. We want to start doing live shows. But I think it's just really build up our listeners, for them to get to know us. I think a lot of them don't really know the personality, like don't really know the faces behind the podcast. People
Because you're not talking about your sex life enough.
I think
I ain't got one.
I think people, the society that we live in now,
a
people
Nigerian
want you
man.
to be more explicit and really literally just be. What did you say?
I didn't say a word.
I said
okay.
nothing.
Okay. People want you to be more explicit and talk about sex and talk about your personal life. And I think, yeah, we can do that on the podcast, but that's not all we're going to do on the podcast.
We can't do it. Like, we're not going to be comfortable with it because it's not us like
Yeah.
that. Like in our private conversations, we can do all of that, but we're not really out there like that.
And I think that's
About
what
that.
people are more geared to. And no shade to other podcasts, but I feel like a lot, like there's podcasts out there who do all that stuff, and that's cool. But with us, that's not what.
I don't think you need to.
And exactly.
But I feel like it's harder for us to even get to attract more listeners, because I feel like nowadays everyone wants to be more in your personal life, be more,
And everyone wants to be, yeah.
everyone wants to talk about sex basically, and I feel like that's not what life is all about.
I feel like sex and drama is what's
Selling.
It's what's selling.
But-
But I feel like for us, it's so important that, I feel like I like our dynamic in that we can always keep each other grounded in just staying true. Like personally, I love the journey in getting to something and achieving something. For me, the journey is worth more than, it's just worth a lot to me. Do you get me? Because you grow so much in a period or whatever. So for me, I don't mind however long it takes to get there, as long as we're staying true to ourselves and we don't like kind of sell out on ourselves. Does that make sense? But of course, I'm not saying that anyone's selling out on themselves, but I just think that it's important to stay true to what you're comfortable with. Like, I'm not comfortable, talking about certain
Bust down
things.
Tatiana.
Yeah, and that's okay. People who are comfortable with that, that's fine. They're comfortable with that. But I'm not comfortable with it, and I'm not gonna try and do the most.
Yeah.
Let's be who you lot want to be, man. And when you want to get to whatever end you get to, you want to be able to look back and say to yourself, you know what, I did it, how I did it. Yeah. And I don't feel like I've undervalued myself in any way.
Because I feel like there's a lot of pressure on, especially girl podcasts, to be like another girl podcast. No?
Yeah, I get what
to
you
be
mean.
like another female podcast.
You think so? I think we should try and be different.
No, but I'm saying
No, I
there
mean,
is
like, the way people
pressure,
look at it.
there's a pressure
pressure
to be
outsiders.
like, I don't want to drop any names,
Don't drop names.
but to be like certain podcasts that talk about specific things.
Right.
And because I feel like our generation, that's what we are attracted to. Like that's
what
our
sells.
mind
That's
is
just it.
literally
I
filled
get you, I
with
get you,
with that. Do you know what I mean? But that's not what we're about. We just literally want to do us, talk about things we want to talk about, and just
'Cause-
keep going.
Yeah, forward. Because even like when like the Free Shots guys, when I was watching I think one of them snaps or whatever, or Instagram story or whatever, and Keith was saying how for him, he appreciated the fact that they got signed without them trying to change them or change what it is that they do. Do you get what I mean? And for me, I feel like that was very important to kind of hear him saying that they stayed true to whatever. Because I'm sure they probably had other people come through to them to be like, do you get what I mean? But then he was like how he liked that the fact that they have decided to partner with them without trying to change them.
But what they do is mainstream stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So as
Yeah,
much as I get what
okay,
you're
I get
saying,
you, yeah,
they don't have to change because what they do is what people
mainstream, yeah.
like in the
Yeah.
first place.
That's true,
Yeah.
If they was there talking about the Bible, and then suddenly
That's
they're
Or
like
even like
moving mad.
social issues. People don't give a like. To be real, people don't give a fuck about those things, but we give a fuck about it, so we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and that's what I mean by we don't want to change the things we talk about.
Yeah, because it's even like YouTube and stuff. Like people who do YouTube and stuff. If you're on there speaking substance, people don't really care and stuff. But if you do story time about how your sugar daddy cheated on you with
Or
3 other
I
girls,
fucked in the Nando's toilet.
yeah, like do you get what I mean? It's what
That's
sells.
what-
That story.
There's an audience for everyone. You can
Yeah, exactly.
you can literally talk about a strand of fabric on a carpet and you'll find
you will-
people.
and you
there.
will.
So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of
Yeah.
There was one that was related to books, innit?
There's enough that's related.
There's a lot. Because I
Hundreds of thousands
haven't
related
found
to
one.
books.
Yeah, 'cause I haven't found one the other
I
day.
think maybe a black one.
They usually talk about mostly lit, the one in the UK.
Okay, yeah. So
There are more
one
than
that
more
is-
than the UK.
Yeah, there's more. There's enough of them that do. There's enough.
Okay, well that's the only one that I know. But
Yeah,
you
but-
can, like what Simple Simon said, man. You'll find listeners.
As long as you know,
Yeah, and I think as well-
audience.
Yeah, and one thing we always do as well is that we never ever like focus on people who don't listen to us. Like the fact that we get people who listen to us, even if it's 20 people,
It means
the fact that people take time out of their day to actually listen, I rate that.
I don't think
That's.
people,
I don't want 20 listens, but
yeah, but I don't think people understand how much we actually value the fact that they take their time out. of their
yeah,
Like we do value that.
to sit there and actually listen.
I do.
Nah,
I value it.
I value it a
Because-
lot.
I'm a G, man. You should be listening
No, because
to me.
people's concentration span
Energy.
lasts like 5 minutes. So when someone actually talks about something that I spoke about an hour or 40 minutes, I'm like, you actually listen. Like,
For the middle bit of this podcast where me and my brothers argued about this thing, I will sit there and be like, you actually listen to us just arguing about that?
Yeah,
That
like-
bit, because I would skip. I'll be like, why are these people arguing? Again?
Exactly, but it's like what you said, how people, there's an audience for everyone. People are interested in different things. So, and then that's why even sometimes I don't even take offense to that. Even like people who are close to me, like friends and family, don't listen. I mean, some family members don't even listen anyway, but some friends and family who don't listen, I don't take offense because everyone's got different interests. Do you get what I mean? So I can't really. I don't care if you don't support in it. That's your own. I don't really care. I just appreciate. I feel like it's so important to always appreciate people who do care and not make them feel like they're not enough because you're counting people who are not. Yes, because you're counting people. Thank you. Because you're counting people who are not listening or who are not supporting. Make the people who feel like they are supporting, make them feel special because they are actually tuning in. They actually do care about what you're saying and they care about your voice.
Yeah.
And don't watch people who don't.
All right.
It's their own.
Booyaka. Last words, okay?
that's it. Just keep supporting.
Please, his wife, don't leave him, please.
Yeah, I beg. He didn't mean it.
He's finna sue everybody.
He didn't mean it. He love you, sis. He love you. He love your ass.
Yeah, but I'm a cheating bastard, innit?
Oh,
Ah, we're on your side, man.
So anything can happen.
We're on your
Episode
side.
1817. That was the cheat episode.
All right.
Wife, don't leave me.
Ladies.
Please.
She titled it that, you know.
So yeah, I like what you
Please don't
said.
leave me.
Stick to your voice. Stay true to who you believe you are, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't conform to feel that to do whatever it is
Definitely.
you're
We
doing.
don't do that.
Yeah, big up yourself, and thank you for coming down.
Thank you for
Nigerian
inviting
woman, I mean.
us.
Thank you for having us.
We'll get
Appreciate it.
your church notes and your socials in a minute. Just keep them in
Yes.
mind. We'll start off with Simple Simon.
At Simple Simon FB on Twitter. My book recommendations on slow this week because I'm actually reading some exercise books. So it's not like a novel or biography or anything like that. So I'm reading exercise books because I'm going to do some training for something. So I ain't got a book recommendation this week. So sorry.
Mr. Wolf.
Catch me on Insta,
Catch me outside.
I was supposed to say that. I was going to say that.
aka Mr. Wolf. Twitter, aka _Mr. Wolf. You girls are fantastic.
I said, we've got an E on the
Oh,
end.
thank you.
No,
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate it. Say it again. I missed it when you said it the first time.
you Niger girl and you
Yes.
Ghana girl was fantastic.
Thank
Thank you
very
so
much.
much. I love a
Appreciate
compliment.
that.
I do.
I did throw a little bit.
He looks different now. What?
Put the shade
The Nigerian in me loves it. Go, you wildin'.
Big Wahala.
You wildin'.
Yeah, so at Big Wahala on Insta, at Big Wahala on Twitter. Our brothers in podcasting off the cuff are having a live show on the 5th of May
Gaza.
at that Siegfried von Underbelly place in I think it's Shoreditch.
Shoreditch, yeah.
So pick up your tickets at Eventbrite. I think the early bird tickets are already done, sold out. So you're gonna have to get the expensive one now. But
Plug.
yeah, go check that out. 5th
What
of May.
date's that? 5th of May.
5th of May. Sunday, 5th of May.
So if you sorted out our free tickets now that with the plug, we get the free tickets for that.
Foles is Nigerian, they ain't giving us no free tickets. And Vaz is Congolese. Unless we're wearing tight trousers, it's not happening, bro. So I don't think we're getting
I'm
in.
dead.
I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. But we'll see.
When I said off the cuff best run podcast in the UK, well, urban podcast in the UK, I meant it. You know, they're profesh. Unless,
Pick me.
Pick me. You really want that free ticket, isn't it?
No, just before you ladies come, what did I say? What did I say about them?
Exactly what you just said there.
No,
you said
that is not what I said. What did I say?
It should be on radio.
I said them man.
They're so professional. They should be on radio.
They can just slot into radio. That's what they've. When I hear them, I was just like, you guys should. Everyone should be hearing you.
That's good.
Yeah, everyone should be hearing you.
Pick me.
Pick me.
I am Stavros Bus. You can catch me
tickets.
at Stavros Bus everywhere. You can also catch me outside my house with my clothes on the floor because the wife would have kicked me out.
Overdoing it.
Ladies. Can you give us the socials and anything you want to shout out?
Check us out at No Shade Pod on SoundCloud, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and No Shade Podcast on YouTube. I am Ikuya Aubrey _ on Instagram and Twitter.
Plug.
And I am my own royalty.
Plug.
On everything.
Is that?
What she said, innit?
Shout her out on her YouTube as well.
Subscribe to me on YouTube. Girl, you was cutie. I don't promote myself.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Subscribe to me on YouTube for like advice and just encouragement and stuff like that.
Encouragement.
Yes.
All right, wonderful.
Cool. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Thanks for having us. We really love it.
Yeah, man. You enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna come back.
Yeah, sorry about the
Come
shout
fight.
out.
We're finna have you guys on ours soon.
Yeah. If they'll come.
We'll see.
Where is
It's
it?
not even an
Look
if.
at Hannah's face. Look at his face like
It's
that.
not even an if. You are coming.
Where is
You're
it?
gonna have to.
In Barking, like Ilford, Barking side.
Jesus.
I link my thing from the bar.
Wow.
Small
Small travel.
You know, like that.
It's not that much trouble for me.
All right, listeners. Oh, and that actor is overseas, so that's why you haven't been listening to him for the past few weeks. He's overseas.
Gaza.
The internet where he is not. It's not as bad as Cuba, but it's not as good as here. And if when he gets the internet, we'll call in and we'll do the calling thing. But as of the last couple of weeks, he hasn't been able to. Hopefully, he'll be here next week. So shout out that actor. Sorry, we haven't been shouting you out. It's because we don't care about you. If we're gonna be honest. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening in. Remember, use the hashtag ESNPod. Join in the conversation. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Rate, review, and all that stuff. Thank you very much. We are out.
And remember, if you ain't saying nothing, say it well.
Slag for life.
Gaza.
And his wife, please don't leave him.
Yes. Can you say that again louder?
Please,
Don't leave
Mrs. Stavros, please don't leave him.
He loves you.
Please.
He loves you.
Wow. CTGT. He liked it.
I don't even know the rest of the lyrics still.
And it's like, what I think is with her, even when I'm dead, I love you. Isn't that what?
I owe ya.
All my wives are baller.
Hey.
Please, off the cuff. Can we be on your podcast?
Wow.